Little. Here goes Alabama. I'm gonna throw this right at the camera. I need stuff throw at the camera like David Letterman. Here we go.
I need more king juice. I need more king juice.
King juice.
King juice. Let's go. There we go. That's it.
Flying out of Birmingham.
Smoking in the new one.
Somebody help me get out of Louisiana. There are people there who care a little about me, and they will not let the poor boy down. Take it, son.
Oh, we got. Yeah.
Silk suit, sitting loud in my put luggage in my hand, son. Albuquerque with the street. Working on a T-bone steak, a la carte, flying over to the Golden State. Here we get us to Los Angeles. Taxi to the terminal zone. So let me make it to the telephone. Los Angeles. Yeah. And the poor boy is on the line.
We know
Triple D's.
I think I heard them say on Channel 7 that like the was going to be like 104.
Yikers.
Yeah, so that means you know that you get up there that 115 heat index, which was the record we did. We all on the day
112, 14. Right. The actual temp.
We'll be studio.
Do we need to alert you? Again, what time to get in?
He got in probably about 5 o'clock, you know, because of the weather delays. So he got out there, shook a few hands, did Randy's show out there.
Oh, very good.
But anyway. Yeah. On Kane and Sandy on PBS. Like a video about his life, I think, and so they're going to do a fundraiser. We'll talk with them.
You know, there's a film of Roger Scott, a couple of other people in when I was in the first or second grade at Goldstein Elementary that PBS did. There's video somewhere.
Oh, I
think it's our. I think they lost.
Okay.
I don't think they kept it. They probably put a Jacques Cousteau on that tape at that time.
We'll also have Family Feud brought to you by Southern Bank and some special trivia, and I'll tell you why it's going to be special. Josh, how are you?
Gentlemen, how are we?
Doing good. Fourth weekend. This will be our last day in studio until next week. Next Wednesday.
Next Wednesday. From today is the birthday of the United States of America.
Several things to get to. By the way, I want to talk about Hot Springs. We got more details on what happened yesterday. We were doing the show and heard about somebody crashing Hot Spring in the lake. It's not. When you think of Roger, I think of a couple things. I think of the song. His name.
There was a dog.
I don't know.
There was a dog. A man. Was a man who had a dog, and Bingo was his name. Bingo.
And then what was the next one?
There was a lady who had a man.
Well, we don't know. We do.
No.
We do. Which is good.
You know what? It's like in church. They always skip the third stanza. We never know what that is.
Is that church not and different things where they can make money
anymore? Is it?
It used to be. Well, it was legal. illegal. And there were some people doing that.
Yeah.
And
Why?
you got casino.
Well, I don't know why you can't. And I think they do have bingo nights at places like at what do you call the military places? Things like that.
The Great Antiquity starring Roger, right?
Yeah.
There is
The movie has a bingo scene.
and I read a real estate guy here in town.
Yeah.
He goes
His
out
daughter's one of the big producers.
Oh my gosh, that's right. That's
His
right.
son-in-law is the photographer.
He's such a nerd.
The way he does it. G4. Used to play bingo as a kid. It was a board game, if you will.
Yeah.
Yes.
Gosh, yes or no, pineapple?
In.
My pizza, so stuff it.
Do you really?
You know what?
You know, give me my. Don't put them together. That's
so wrong.
Do you have a nice pair of sunglasses or a cheap pair of sunglasses?
I think they're nice.
You like how much? Like you spend like $100?
I think they were
more?
about 150.
Okay.
When I was young and played baseball, I wore them all the time. After that, no.
Yeah, I for like $20, and they look just
know that nobody knows you. A snob, they'll know. Vickery would know.
Yeah, true.
Well, I've got the only time I see my glasses is when I swap cars at Fletcher's.
Yes,
I take them out of the thing, put them in the other car, and that's it. I don't wear them.
What about
they're glasses we got from EM Jeans back then? Those are the ones I still have. So those are what, a decade old?
Yeah. It's also National Onion Day. In or out on onions?
In.
Josh, in or out on onions?
And I like them on my pizza.
Well, who does not? Is Roger.
Frank Fletcher despises
He
them.
doesn't like
He's trying to get onions canceled.
Is the at the riverfront?
I was going to ask that.
I think he does. I think they do, but
ask for, they're not on the salad bar. Which is wild because he
really does not have onions
I
on
think
the.
anytime we've ever eaten there, I always look to see. But then by the time I get there, I go, now what was I supposed to look for?
Snap. Are you a fan? Yes, the combo. Very good. That came to us probably like 25 years ago.
Yeah, maybe.
And it's, you're
absolutely
that's something I don't think for a lot of years people knew, but the military knew that sort of existed.
It exists. They just called it a different name.
What was it? What
they called it? Shell shock. Back then, it's been.
Deal with people.
Absolutely. Yeah. Listen. Being.
And what will it come? What form does it come in?
Let me tell you,
have PTSD for Roger.
For me,
yes,
it's thoughts of killing. I talked to a doctor the other day. He said, "You don't have thoughts of hurting others or yourself." I said, "No, not now. No, I don't."
The other thing, the
100.
Try to be a little bit. I think it was 2021 summer, maybe when we started.
Started with a hangout. Yeah. We closed the hangout down. We made it. There were people clamoring to get it, and Yuba over at Boudreaux said, "I don't know why you." It's what she told me when we said this. She goes, "I don't know why you didn't come to me the first time." I went, "Oh wow!" So, you know what? I'm gonna have to come down a little bit. Great. I don't think Yuba and Nico would know what to do without me.
So tonight,
$100 for 100 has gone up. It's $200.
Wow.
I have $200 in cash to give away, maybe even more.
Split between the team.
I really it'll.
You got to figure that.
Get on the board and think about questions that are worth some money or something like that.
Well, you know what? Of course, we'll still give away gift certificates.
Questions, yes.
Exactly. We'll give away the gift certificate. You know what? I'm. Where's the Morning Mayhem shirt? They're supposed to. So we'll have some. I guess what I need to do is get that cash and maybe break it up. Maybe $50 in cash to 4 different people could do that.
I think. Listen,
Hogman's Game Day Superstore helps out.
Yeah, appreciate
Splash,
Cassie.
maybe give me some. Oh, there's no doubt about Cassie.
Splash.
Boudreaux will give us stuff. I could give somebody a free haircut. I got to give Josh one.
Well, so I think it's significant when you. I like
it is.
What significant achievement or what's something in your life that's enough. You're, Brian, how long you been married?
When that number becomes one of those fun numbers that we like, your sobriety maybe is like, okay, well, yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Let's hear it.
It was February 12th, 2000. So that's 13 years ago, 2010.
Do you keep but Wally used to say that he would keep up with the number he had been out of the military. Remember, he'd go.
He did, yeah. He gives it days.
Yeah,
that's
so
a fair coin, obviously. So years of not smoking, that's a significant.
It is.
There's 11,000 plus Great Lakes, but we like numbers. That's why they call it 10,000 lakes. There's over 11,000, but 10,000 sounds good.
So, for example, when you think of Justin Moore, what would be a significant number for him that you would reference him if you were?
Well, you do it all the time.
I do.
Number one,
20 million albums. Though.
Wikipedia says he's worth 10 million.
For him,
grows,
for me, I've been throwing out recently, over 20,000 hours of live radio, just as a reference point, just to throw the
you've been throwing that out for a number of years, so it's more.
Or 15 tackles, against Auburn and Bo. Okay. Just different.
How many have you been single? I think a big. You talked about dating Jessica.
Completed into the 8th year,
and that is the most that you've dated
that's record territory. And we listen, or the touchdown. Listen, bro, I always say Broyles Award 26-year anniversary. But what about you, Josh? If somebody had to give it, I
one for him too.
Okay, what's
weight?
no,
lost weight. That's a huge number for him.
Oh, is it? Before you got fired by your first podcast, the number of subscribers you had in the period of time, what was it up to?
It was up to 4,500.
Yeah, so. What would be another one? Anything else? Number of women that you've dated?
Okay. I would say Roger's right with the weight, because I was above 200 pounds basically ever since I was out of high school.
Okay.
And I just recently got.
So you've lost how much weight?
50. It was like 50, 60 pounds.
So that pounds.
Yeah.
I think we've seen the picture of you, since you've lost that weight.
We've seen a picture of the other neighbors. He's lost.
Yeah.
Tuesday trivia today.
Yeah.
Also, too, did anybody news fest? It was a
seven national titles. You got to give it up for him.
Yeah.
Paul
give it up to
Skeens
him.
didn't throw a single pitch.
I saw him. Man,
and I guess in that game.
He was he was a superstar. Here's Air Force a chance, Roger. Free at the Air Force Academy, probably. You can make the argument. He leaves after 1 year. He's it'll be but where you make the most money, not
dollar bill.
A chance, and then 1 year, boom. 6'6", 250. But is in the stands. I thought that might back up. It was. So you were stadium last night and going over. Now, it's ridiculous. If I'm not mistaken, spent $30,000. Somebody came in and bought 8,888 shots. Yeah, I think we might look at that to see where they're at.
I told you about that cat from it was Raising Cane's.
They looked up the number 8,888 Jello shots, which came out to be 30,000. Anyway, they do it again.
Yeah.
Raj, and then this was the first one since 2009. I know would love talking about the LSU Tigers winning. While I was working on my computer, is a special on the Dream Team. Yeah. Have you ever seen that special about going back and watching Jordan?
It's been a while.
Oh my gosh, it's so good.
Yeah.
So anyway, one of the things I was just thinking, it popped in my head because this is the slow time of summer. Gonna ask, if you had to create a dream team for the Razorback basketball team, what would be the 5 to 8 players you would have on there? So I've asked Rick Schaefer that. Yeah. So I did.
He's got his list.
Yeah, so it's going to be. I mean, trying to think, how the heck where do you?
We can do 6. Are you going to go the whole team?
You can if you want to go to.
Well, you're just going to go starting 5.
6.
Yeah, well, Rick will have that for sure. Boy, it's tough. I don't know how in the heck. I was reading today about the Razorbacks. And about the SEC, did you know the SEC had the most draft choices of anybody in the NBA draft the other day? With Arkansas and UCLA.
Did we have the most one and dones on the team, Con?
Yeah, that's a good question. I would say you can look at UCLA, Josh, and see, but I bet you, Roger, they're not 3 freshmen. If I had to, that
it's not a freshman.
Huh? Yeah.
With one and dones have won national championships. We've got one and dones. 3 of them. 3 of them.
Yeah. Did you? Moore's opinion. Do you see where the schedule for 2023-24 is up, and we will play Kentucky at home and home again?
I heard that.
We had only done that once, Roger, I think, before this past year, and now we get them back to back. And so we'll look at some of the other some of the other ones that come to pass. Hey, yesterday, interesting, Roger. I played with Roger. From around the Arkadelphia area, and then a guy named Chad Gentry.
So you had a fifth.
Okay. That's why I find this is always amazing. And we know that
largest
is the.
Are you shortchanging him by saying Tyler? Is it not flooring?
Well, it could be flooring, Roger. I could be mistaken there. But so this Chad Gentry guy that Bill goes, you all see what he does for a living. So he is one of the number 1 guys in America doing this. And it has to do with something you find in water. But he's back on, and he distributes this across the map.
Is that cleaning out your nasal cavity thing?
So you they're in the water that you grow.
Okay.
That you grow.
Okay. I don't know.
And they grow in Little Rock, Josh.
You talking about sea monkeys?
Not sea monkeys. You want to take a shot at it, Josh? Well, this is something that here. Little did you know.
Is it animals?
It is animal.
Minnows.
It is that close.
Oh.
He is the number 1 goldfish. He sends those things on planes like daily.
Wow.
Do you? He said, I don't.
Shipping.
And so, giving the advantage is FedEx. He said because all the other Petcos use UPS, and so because of his relationship with FedEx, because FedEx is back on base, they got planes every day going to every city.
Cast away.
He said there's but
wow. Of all your 7 championships, LSU, we've got the koi.
What is seen in a movie because you used to do you have to use
Yeah,
you used to
that's
have to
right.
swallow
Yeah,
fish.
yeah.
Have you?
Healthy.
Do go fish. I
Is it-
think that's always been some sort of fraternity thing.
It's
Yeah,
always been a
yeah.
fraternity thing.
I don't know if that's. Oh, sure.
Remember, it's not.
Yes,
What was it?
Elvis.
Elvis. I'll be
I
damned.
actually had this goldfish, and it was like a 10-gallon tank. And I lived in North Florida. I fed it crickets that would get into the apartment when I lived by myself up here in North Florida. Right? I would feed it crickets, and that thing got to be, a foot
You
long.
grew your goldfish.
Just feeding it the
So
cricket.
you got 6 inches.
Yes. Yeah. Well, listen, I like the fact that the dude come up with an angle. What can I do? No one else is doing this. He picked out something.
Yeah.
Well, so who knew? We don't.
Before he took it over, or he took it big?
Do I send 50 of them because this Petco on JFK 40?
Oh well, I had one. His name was Sonny.
Okay,
It lasted 4 days.
that's it.
Yeah, my dad.
And then what do you do with it? You
Well, I was
flush
like
them.
3 years old. My dad did not feed him correctly.
Oh no!
He was
Blaming
horizontal.
his dad.
See, but it,
to get the
but you did,
elaborate one
yeah, you did that for a while.
for a while.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and then
ridiculous.
they died.
We get a morning mayhem fish. Add it to my morning duties.
Yeah, well, you know,
what?
we have one in the. Yeah, it is something. What do you call it? Relaxing when you walk in and you see them bubble. You
You know what? You don't. I don't even. You don't even need that anymore. You get YouTube TV. That moment of zen.
People walk in my house. They go, "Oh, love your tanks."
Yeah.
I said, "No, that is a YouTube or whatever." I can't remember.
Right. Screensaver.
Sure.
Tank right?
It's a screensaver.
Oh, I'm sorry. Let me get a.
Line, or you can call us. Coming up shortly. 3 baby fishes in a bowl when my youngest was like 3. He hugged the fish, and we had to flush it. There you go. Here's one that said, David, are you going to fish this summer like you did last summer? You know, we talked about Roger going on a summer adventure, going trout fishing.
Right.
So we're working on the dates for all that. July is going to be madness, crazy, doing all the things we're going to do.
Yeah, which starts next week.
That's right. That's exactly right.
We'll see. Does it start this week? When's first July?
July
next
Saturday.
week. Yeah.
July 1 Saturday.
The other thing, Roger, is we got Chris Jansen tickets to give away. Now, Chris Jansen is a buddy of Justin. He opened for Justin Saturday night in Ohio. And he's playing at Oaklawn Sunday. So we've got a few tickets to give away this week, and I'm anxious to see. I think we're going to get him on the air with Justin. So, King of all Trivia.
Yes, sir.
Because the 100th night of trivia at Boudreaux's, would you like to give out a trivia question at this moment?
I want to remind everybody. Yes, David. Thank you very much. I want to remind everybody that it is indeed the 100th trivia game of Naked Gardener Productions tonight. Also, we'll be giving away cash for that in memory, in honor of that as well. We will take next Tuesday off, July 4th. We're going to shut. We're shutting down. We're going to give so much away. Yes. We may have people winning $50 cash, 4 or 5 of those, and that sort of thing. Yes. I want you to call right now at the text line formerly known as the First Arkansas Bank and Trust text line. Be the first caller to answer this question.
Guys, are we going to go? Is this a pat on the back, or is this Chris Jansen?
What do you tell me? But here's the thing.
Let's warm up.
Anybody can Google
Let's do Chris Jansen.
We have something from yesterday we did not give away. We have an Elias gift card that we did not give away yesterday.
Are you kidding me?
So
we sat on it
as a warm up. We could do that and then do a Chris Jansen ticket.
You know what? I like the
let's do a early morning Elias. There you go.
All right, that's it right there. I'll do it right here. This is a quick one, Elliot. It falls under the corporate world ladder. David Basil, which 2 retailers whose names begin with the letter W are part of the Dow Jones 30 Industrial Average?
Say it again.
Which 2 retailers whose names begin with the letter W are part of the Dow Jones 30 Industrial Average? Let's go to the phones right now. Who's this? All right.
Listen, they jumped on that, thought they had it pretty quick.
Yeah, they really did. And had I given them the easier one, they might have had it. Which 2 retailers whose names begin with the letter W are part of the Dow Jones 30 Industrial Average for how much gift card?
Elias, didn't say how much it is.
How much? It's at least $25. I think it's $25. I do.
It does not.
I don't think they play around yet.
It does not say. Yeah. Oh, I see now. I see. I just saw it on our text line. So this will be a phone call only. Yeah,
phone call.
I shouldn't be able to get that one. That should be.
Hello, who's this?
Hey, this is Jeff.
Jeff, do you want to win a gift certificate that I think is valued somewhere between $10 and $25 to Elias?
Man, I want to win it, but I don't think I have the right answer.
Well, let's give it a try. Think about this now.
Just up a little bit.
Think about this. All right.
And Walgreens.
That's it. Yeah. You know what? I immediately thought of Walgreens. I didn't think of Walmart.
Is that right?
What's Walmart? Yeah.
How about that? I didn't think about what. Is there another W?
Is that it? Or are you saying that those are the, what were you saying?
That's the only one that I know. That's part of the 30 industrial.
That's it?
So that's it. That starts with a W. Yeah, there it is. My brother, hold on a second. Let Josh get your information. He'll tell you how you can pick up that gift card to Elia's Mexican Grill at exit 108, whether you're coming or going there in Morrilton.
Someone says Chad Gentry, who we were talking about earlier, is a great guy. Yes, he is. Had fun with him and Tony Orr yesterday, along with Bill Lawrence and Robert Raines. Here's one that says for the dream team for Arkansas would be the top 8 off the championship team. Now, you know, the question would be, how many do you take? Do you take Scotty and Corliss off the championship team?
What? I cannot listen. There's 2 on that team that I would replace with Alvin Robertson and Darrell Walker.
You could do that. I did. You got Joe.
But I know that. Yeah. Will we see Joe Thursday?
Yeah.
He's my big man. He's my big man. There's no doubt. Listen, his free throw average was, isn't it second?
Yeah,
to Bradley?
I think so.
No, Joe will be my big man. Joe will be my big man. And again, there may be some bias there. I said bias there.
Here's one, Roger, from our text line. Said, got our 8-year-old a goldfish. He said, dude, the fish.
I didn't have.
I would think it would be a few years.
I didn't have Elvis for 11 years, but I had him for I don't know. Samantha may know.
I
could have fried the son of a gun.
Well, you screw it up somehow. You don't. You're what you got the levels.
Well, you put it in front of a window.
So pretty darn impressive.
Oh my gosh, yeah. But if you've got one of those filtration systems like they have at one of the W Dow industrial average companies, they keep them all. When I had a bigger tank, the one thing that I thought was very cool was I bought these little tiny frogs.
And they would move around.
And you leave them in, and they didn't grow. They were.
I feel bad. They can't. I look at them and they go. They want to go more. They want to, and they stuck. They're stuck.
Let me tell you this.
Yes.
If they're not in that tank, they're somebody's food.
Yeah, or they could be in the ocean.
No, they're dead. Yeah.
It says they in the
right,
most likely, and the number, and that's in America. I don't think that's the world. And the number one minnow. Well, let's find out what kind of minnows these are. I wonder if these are all the minnows that you fish with. I do not know. That's we try to learn, Josh.
Well, what else do you do with a minnow?
Yesterday,
they're bait. They're raising bait. Yeah, I used to do a show here with, what was his name? He stole.
Yes,
well, I mean,
yes, him.
Yeah,
yes.
Wasn't he a bait guy?
I don't know.
I thought he was a bait guy.
Plane crash in Lake Hamilton.
Yeah.
So, a 49-year-old guy named Daniel Dale Jones and his daughter Denise Jones, 23.
I didn't hear them say on the news this morning. I didn't hear them say his daughter.
Yes,
because
his daughter.
They didn't say Jones. They said somebody else. Obviously, she could be married, but
her name is Denise Jones, only 23. They were both from Kentucky, and it looks like, Roger, it's a small Cessna. It looks like they were coming into Hot Springs. I thought they were taking off, but it says here the single-engine Cessna 177 Cardinal diverted from Kentucky due to weather, and so it either came down and they tried to get back up or whatever, and it didn't make, so it just goes. They said that a lot of people said they couldn't even hear it. Yeah, just boom, and it sunk. It sunk in, and so he's underwater. The girl gets out. So the people walk outside. It takes the guy looks at that. He sees there's a plane, and he sees the woman, the daughter, pop up.
Oh my!
And so he's out there helping. Here's a float. Can you imagine? I mean, just golly, it's just a horrible story. The poor girl has to see that with her father there. But anyway, that's a sad story we talked about yesterday.
They got to move the equipment in there to get that plane out.
Yeah, they do. The pink had thrown at her on stage. Also, too, it looks like the U of A trustees have agreed for the renovation of Bud Walton Arena. Yeah. So I want you to guess, Rod, what do you think it is? What do you think the cost would be? The renovation is estimated to be. I think it was like $30 million back in '94.
I'd say 15.
50 to 100 million.
So you're going to renovate something that costs that much for $100 million instead of shutting it down, tearing it down.
I don't know. Maybe it's more expensive.
You know what? And we're worried about carbon emissions.
A very contentious thing going on with the Board of Trustees, Roger. Four guys led by Sheffield Nelson do not like the current president. I think I told you he was going to buy.
Sheffield's still around?
I know. He's going to buy the Phoenix. They were going to buy the Phoenix College or whatever. There's got a lot of controversy around it. And according to Sheffield Nelson, the president wasn't really forthcoming about how big and what was going on. And so, anyway, really interesting to see all the dirty laundry come out. On the surface, it sounds like President Bobbitt did not do a good job of communicating all the particulars of such a big deal. It's going to cost like $500 million. The U of A were just going to buy this Phoenix. Is it Phoenix College? Is that what it is? And it's just like, come on, with that kind of deal, you can't sort of be secret about it. You got to make sure everybody's. So anyway, Steve Cox with Sheffield, some of our guys that we know on there. So
Cox did it, then I'm all in.
Steve Cox's son played yesterday at the golf tournament.
Oh, very good.
Great to see so many great
Hall of Famer.
Great on yesterday.
Yeah.
God, oh my God,
got way too many. But I'll listen to every one of them. Also, on another note, the mother and wife of the billionaire son who perished in the sinking and all that, she came out yesterday and said she was she was the one that was supposed to go, but the boy wanted to go, so she let him do it.
That's a different story, huh?
Well, which is from the aunt,
from the
who
aunt.
said he was terrified and didn't want to go.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, who do you believe? I guess you got to believe the mother, and she seemed very calm about it as she was telling him. Why would someone come out and say that he was very terrified of going, and the mother say no, he wanted to go?
Yeah, that's that's one of those ones. Now that apparently that's the thing on the internet. Have you guys seen that? You were supposed to, Josh. You were supposed to. Have you seen that? They were supposed. All these people are saying I was supposed to go on that. That's sort of the meme now. They're making fun of it. I was supposed to be on that. People today, I tell you.
Why are they doing that?
Will be Thursday. Yeah. He said, "You 20 years in captivity. I'm going to have to take him to the nursing home with me." So listen, again, if you want to, God bless you if you're saving animals out there and doing a good job, because I would probably kill them.
Squirrel is one of those things. I mean, you start saving the wrong kind of animal and it'll kill you.
It's what?
You can't save a squirrel's one thing, but you start saving, rescuing certain animals like snakes and gators. And
I agree.
Like that.
Here it says the goldfish empire was started by Chad's great granddad and great. Then Bob took it to the next level. That's Papa from Palestine. Palestine that just said
Papa
that. Pete. Significance in your life as we celebrate Roger's 100th night of trivia at Boudreaux's tonight. And what was that?
was
What
not
was it
supposed
from?
to- that was not the thing I thought it was labeled as. That was Johnny in Kung Fu in Karate Kid.
Oh, that was not.
I thought it was sweep the leg. It was no mercy and all that kind of stuff. I thought it
Yes.
was sweep the leg, but it was something else.
654. A couple of messages. I don't know why, Roger. For some reason, I'm not hearing myself in my headset as well.
You understand something here? You are at for folks that are listening. He can't hear himself right now. You right now, you have always been. If you think of the dial, folks, on the volume of his headphones, he's number 4. He's always been at the very least.
Yes.
At say 11 o'clock. You're at number 4.
Right.
That's 11 o'clock. Today you have jumped the shark. You are at now 1 o'clock.
I don't know why.
You have gone from 11 to 1 o'clock. Unless those.
I think there's something on the board that's fighting you.
I don't know, baby boy. But anyway, you're going to get some hearing aids along with
as noted by the College Football Network. He graduated from the School of the Deaf.
Yeah, I remember.
And kid was at the School of the Deaf.
Yeah.
That's a good senior year.
Good job.
That's probably what he would say.
My word. I've heard both. I've heard who it is, just like El Dorado. I mean,
down the interstate.
Wow.
That.
But especially if I'm on the other end. Okay.
And now our children have each married their high school sweethearts. You know, it'd be nice for that to work out so cleanly and perfectly.
Picket fence. He's cutting the grass with one of those hand mowers.
Ms. Marina says, "Hey guys, it would cost more than $100 million to build Bud Walton from scratch today." I don't doubt that. There could be some truth to that.
Yeah, really?
It could be. You know,
how
expensive it is. Yeah,
Wi-Fi. That's still a lot of money.
It's expensive now, but it is a ton of money for really. And you're losing 2,000 seats, but you're getting getting a nicer place. 28. It is.
And all those guys, maybe back then, Pete Perkins.
I think that's right. Yeah, I think that is correct. So, hey, if you want to be a part, we're celebrating with trivia night at Boudreaux's tonight.
So last Tuesday. I've got so many things to give away that I really can't mention all of them on the air because it is
got so much.
and FCC violation.
Yes.
But we may have a shortened version of the game only as a whole, only to be able to do other questions to give away the valuable prize.
It's gonna be a fun night. Also, we got to give away Chris Jansen tickets. Chris Jansen is playing at Oaklawn this weekend. Ohio.
Do you think those are valuable tickets? You think somebody wants?
It was Chris Jansen on Spotify. He's going, "Hey, it's Chris Jansen. I'm smiling."
Give some of those away tonight, but let me ask you this: can we give away a pair online right now by asking the question? The first one to text and say something while we're on break.
We could do that.
What would the question be? Be the first one to answer what?
We'll come back and do it. We'll do it.
You don't do it during the break.
No, we'll come up with a question. Do it at 7:30.
You're sure?
Yeah. Rick Schaefer coming up next. Look at basketball. Who? It's Rick Schaefer.
I'll have my 8 written down too.
7 o'clock. 7:06. Just found out some amazing news. If you're over the age of 50, you know who we're talking about. If not, it's Bob Keish's birthday, who, for those over 50, know him as Captain
Bob
Keishan. And this music is what we would start the show every morning. And the characters for this show included who, Roger?
Mr. Bunny, Mr. Moose,
Mr. Moose, Clock,
our grandfather Clock.
And one of their bits, Josh, was that they would stand there and they would ask a question, and ping pong balls would
Mr. Moose. They would say something, and then ping pong balls would just fall down on them.
So
just hijinks.
Our buddy,
because it was fun. There was no sexual innuendos. I don't think. There was nothing else. It was just good. They had a grandfather Clock that talked.
Here's what's crazy. Our buddy Rick, who's down there at the point, came down here, and we told him, because he's not talking about Bob Keish and Captain Kangaroo on the point down there. No. So he said, "Oh, it's his birthday." And he goes, "Well, you know, he was a Marine."
Yeah.
Like, what?
He's a train killer.
Wikipedia, it says,
you go.
So that he had fought alongside Keishan at the Battle of Iwo Jima. Yeah. Over the time, the legend has been published verbatim. Other legends compounded since that Keishan was a trained killer, that he was awarded the Navy Cross.
That was awesome.
But he was a tough sergeant who saved the lives of dozens of men and women in the war.
Go look at a picture and see it. Look at his haircut. You know he's a killer.
Keishan, Japan, having enlisted too late to serve overseas. So
listen. The train killer doesn't have to tell you he's a train killer.
But he's in the United States Marine Corps, but was still in the United States when Japan surrendered. But so he was. He did. How about that, Captain Kangaroo with his interesting haircut?
And for the old, very interesting. It was bold. It was straight.
Yeah,
bold.
you got to listen. Different Rick Schaefer's coming up. It's got a little bit on the front, like used to be, at least, the sort of hair like that.
Wow. So, only you could get away with doing
I'm just saying, it just sort of is.
Let's see if Rick is there, man.
I'm
kidding. That was just a joke.
I'm right here.
I was just teasing.
Let's get formally introduce Rick today. Good morning, Rick.
Good morning, David, Roger. You know, that's great nostalgia about Captain Kangaroo, but you missed the most important point of Captain Kangaroo.
What's that?
He introduced most of us kids to something that has been a lifelong lesson, that the most important words in the American language are please and thank you. That was their point every day.
I didn't know
the
that.
Magic words. That's what they call them. The magic words were please and thank you.
How about that? How
And
about
for
that?
somebody watching that when you're 5 and 6 and 7, and that is so impressionable.
Yeah.
And you know what? Those are still the magic words today.
Are you paying attention, Josh?
Look at that.
I don't think
thank
you are.
Rick.
Please and thank you, because gratitude is so frequently missed.
It's up on my end.
And in fact, and I know y'all are believers, in my opinion, the greatest sin in America today is lack of gratitude, because we are the most blessed people in the history of the world, and most Americans are griping about where they are in life.
Yes, that's exactly right, Rick. It's you're right. And what a wholesome show that was. You know, that's what kids need to get off the phone and watch more of Captain Kangaroo in our opinion.
Listen, I was just telling Joshua there was no sexual innuendos. There was nothing like that. You had a magic drawing board, which was unbelievable. The grandfather Clock, Bunny. These were puppets, and we thought they were real. We didn't need anything.
It was a staple. It was a staple for many, many years.
Listen, who didn't eat cereal watching that?
Rick, we won't spend much time on it, but just because it's LSU. LSU wins the national championship. They're 7th since the 90s, which is really amazing. They won 4 under Skip Bertman in the 90s alone. I think they won 5 of the national championships under him, one under the other coach, and then obviously Jay Johnson last night. Pretty impressive performance by the Tigers.
Yeah, it's a amazing program. When you're in the Southeastern Conference, obviously there's a lot of envy, and Arkansas baseball fans think they're every bit as good as LSU. And it's like, well, how come they've won 7 and we haven't won any yet?
Yeah.
And got close to 1. And yet you have to think, what Arkansas has accomplished in recent years of so many College World Series appearances, getting close, super regionals. Nobody else except LSU is doing that. And so I'm talking about every year, year after year after year after. Look at Wake Forest. They were number one in the country. They hadn't been there since 1955. And you look at some of the other teams that just Ole Miss won a national championship, Mississippi State. They haven't been back to Omaha since. So Arkansas's program is really, really good. And the Razorbacks have beaten LSU. So I'm looking forward to the show today when Randy Rainwater gets all over me. Because I said, if you're LSU and you've got a guy like Skeens and you're playing for the national championship and you don't start him, and the next thing you know, you're down 4-0. And of course, they were down 2-0, but then they scored 18 runs, so it didn't matter.
Well, and if I'm not mistaken, I'm looking at it now. So I remember the hype of when we played them.
Yeah.
So do you remember what happened the first game, Roger or Josh? You remember what happened when we played in the first game?
Went extra innings.
The first game Arkansas
You're
played
talking about
LSU?
this year, right?
This year.
But they hammered them, didn't they?
We hammered LSU.
Arkansas beat them,
No.
pretty bad.
Yeah, we did.
No, the game that Skeens pitched went extra innings, and Arkansas won the game.
But
it was
9-3. Yeah,
9-3. But there was 1-1 when he left.
That's right. Yeah, the not close as the score indicated. But I remember again, Arkansas was number 6.
Yeah,
LSU was number 1, and I just remember thinking, man, you're going toe to toe. And they ended up beating us the next game, 12-2, and then 14-5. I think that sort of showed what we were up against, because we had lost some pitching at that time.
But then Arkansas beat them in the SEC tournament. They beat Skeens.
Yeah, that's right. That's exactly right. They obviously played well against him, but yeah, you got to give them credit. And that crowd was impressive, and they're so arrogant as a fan base. But you got to give them their due. The other thing, we were celebrating Rick Rogers' 100th. Trivia night at Boudreaux's tonight. And so we're talking about, so he's done 2,000 questions.
Yeah, Rick.
Wow.
In trivia.
I know.
Yes.
How about that, Rick?
Okay, so Roger, let me stop you for a second then. Do they ask you trivia questions or do you ask trivia questions?
I ask them. And Rick, even though I write them, get the answer, I still make mistakes every now and then. That's why when I play trivia, the most important thing to do is there's 3 things. You don't cheat. You stay off your phones. Don't look at your watches and all that. And you don't necessarily have to have the right answer. You just have to match what I have on my paper.
Yeah.
So if you
True.
He says that every time. Listen, we're a little bit different. Yeah, especially when I get there. So we get there. If he asks a question that's just really so ridiculously hard, I start booing. But
90 it is if Basil gets there at 3, because we don't start till 6:30. If he gets there at 3 in the afternoon, start doing show prep for tomorrow. So they need to give them questions like Laverne and blank. That's what they want. I know.
100 times at Boudreaux. So is there any number that when talking about Rick Schaefer that would be in your obit, that would be something when you're up speaking that you would share statistically, or a number that relates to Rick Schaefer?
Well, you gave me time to think about that, because I usually don't think about things personally. When you think about numbers, I think about Stan Musial was 6, Frank Robinson was 20.
Yep.
Bob Gibson was 45, Darren McFadden was 5. But you did give me time to think, so I'm going to tell you a number that I've never told anybody.
Okay.
From the time I was hired as assistant sports information director till the time Jeff Long said I would no longer do the color on basketball, I worked either as on radio or SID or both, 1,124 Razorback basketball games.
Wow.
Hold on. Let me write this down. So 1,124 basketball games that you either called or covered as your work with the sports information.
Most of them were radio too, because it was interesting. My first year, just the first year, I think, because I was overseeing basketball, so I didn't do the color at home. Charlie Fiss, our longtime friend, did the color at home, and I did it on the road because I traveled with the team. But that was just 1 year, so there's probably only about 15 games in there that I didn't do radio on.
That is a lot of games. 1,124. And how many years does that span, Rick?
34.
34 years. Those are great. That's what I'm talking about, Roger. Those are the kind of things like,
Absolutely.
for example, I was telling the guys I throw out now, I've done over 20,000 hours of live radio. You're probably not too far behind that, Rick. You probably, 15, 17,000, something like that. Although you do 3 hours with Randy, we do 4, and we've been doing it for 20 years. But so 20,000 hours of radio, or, 15 tackles against Auburn and Bojack, whatever, whatever. But everybody has some numbers that, Roger threw out a good one that you've been sober, Roger, for how long now?
16 years.
16 years sober, 10 years smoking.
Congratulations.
Yeah, so there's
Wow.
always
Good
so anyway,
for you,
that's what we're
Roger.
sort of looking in on it. But that's a great stat, Rick. 1,124. That's a lot of basketball games. The other question I threw at you, I watched the Dream Team documentary last night, and it was so good because they were talking about how, and Charles Barkley said it so well. You know what changed the NBA forever, Roger and Rick? It was Magic and Larry coming into that. The NBA was nothing what it is today until those two came on the scene. And their unbelievable rivalry in the 80s changed. Thank you. Changed the NBA. There and the Dream Team was just, we were so dominant. Roger, the first to be able to qualify to go to Barcelona, we had to play in some kind of, I don't know what they called it,
right?
But the average victory point was 50.
Yeah,
We averaged winning by 50 points, and then we one game we won by 70.
Yeah.
And then the other thing I forgot about that, Rick and Roger, is that. Who was the coach from Detroit that was the Olympics coach with the big hair? Daly. So they played the best college team that was coached by Coach K.
Right.
And they beat the Dream Team.
Right.
And they say that Daly sort of planned it that way. Coach K said,
Yes.
it was, they threw the Daly. And of course, you listen to Bobby Hurley. They thought they just played well. But that's what Daly wanted to happen. How
did they throw it?
Well, I think he didn't play Jordan much.
Okay.
And it was the substitution patterns. He
So
never
that
really,
was the way.
Yeah, that's
Okay, so that's
way.
he threw it that.
No matter what, still should have beat him anyway. But
would think.
it goes to show you if you don't. And then they came back out the next day, played him again. And Charles Barkley said we beat him by 100. Yeah. Anyway,
Well, hey, and to your point, David, about Magic and Bird, I totally agree with you. I think I've shared on this show. I'm almost finished now with a book about the 1969 NBA Finals between the Celtics and the Lakers, who are the glamour team. It's called Tall Men, Short Shorts, and it basically focuses mostly on Bill Russell of the Celtics, who's near the end of his career, and Wilt Chamberlain, who the Lakers traded 3 players and money to get because they couldn't beat the Celtics without a big guy. They had West and Baylor, but couldn't. So those two are in the finals with each other. So get this, you're thinking that those are the glamour teams their era. I grew up watching those guys play and just think of how great they were. The first 2 games were not on TV.
I know, isn't that crazy?
They weren't even on TV. If you lived in Los Angeles and you didn't have it because LA had the home court, if you want to watch those games and you didn't have a ticket, there were 2 movie theaters in town. You could buy $5 and go watch a closed circuit telecast. That was it.
And then after that, Rick didn't. Roger, we've talked about this. Tommy always brought it up. Is that the other ones were shown? Delayed. Until Magic and Bird arrived, and
we didn't think anything about it.
No, that's right.
That's what.
Yeah, that's
what we could do.
That's right. When does your book come out, Rick?
No. I'm reading it.
I'm not. I thought maybe you were expanding it. You've written books before.
And it's written by a guy that became a Sports Illustrated writer, but he was a young writer for the Boston Globe. So it's not only about the games, but it's about his start in journalism and all the amazing sports writers of that time that he had a chance to meet. So guys like Jim Murray and Frank DeFord, and who are also rising in their. Well, Murray was the best at that time. So it's really an interesting book.
We're visiting with Rick Schaefer, brought to you by Edwards Food Giant. I want to thank them for sponsoring Rick each week. Okay, so because I started watching the Dream Team last night, it got me to thinking, because this is sort of the dead part of summer where we do things to fill some time with, so we don't have live sports going other than baseball. I know you love baseball. So I asked you to give the Dream Team for the Razorbacks. I thought maybe the top 8, instead of going too deep with 10 starters, 6 to 8 of the Razorback greats. Who would Rick Schaefer have on there?
Well, I'm not thinking by position. I'm thinking by ability or by greatness, obviously.
Agree.
But you do want to have people of right size in there. So the first 2 names, The first name won't surprise anybody. First name is Sidney Moncrief.
Okay.
He is
No
still,
surprise. Yep.
after all these years later, and I know others won national championships, did all those other things, still the best player in school history.
Okay.
Okay. My second pick would be Lee Mayberry, because Lee Mayberry, like Sidney, elevated the play of the entire team by his ability.
Mhm.
He was a quiet leader, could do anything. Todd Day was a great player, partly because of Lee Mayberry.
Okay.
And if Todd wasn't scoring, Lee would. So I named those two first.
Okay.
The next one I would think of is Corliss Williamson. Obviously, Arkansas won a national championship with him. Great player. When you think of a guy that was 6'7", but was still a dominant force inside, you just don't see that anymore.
Right.
So those are the first three I think of. And then my next pick would be Scotty Thurman, because Scotty Thurman was the most clutch shooter in school history.
Mhm.
He hit 7 game-winning shots during his career.
I didn't realize that. That's a great stat.
But you know how many he missed?
Zero.
Zero. He never missed. I'm talking about a shot within the last minute of the game that decided the
That's
game.
a great stat. Roger, have you heard that one before? I had not heard that one. Thanks. Good stuff. All right.
And we think of how clutch Ron Brewer was.
Yeah.
He made 3. So you think about that. So I think about him. Then you think about, you got to have an inside guy. So I think about Joe Klein,
Right.
because Joe was a dominant force, and had Akeem Olajuwon not played when Joe did, I think Joe would have made every
That's a great
team
point. Yeah.
that there was.
That's a great point.
Because Akeem was the only guy that could ever even compete with Joe Klein. He was just
Joe competed with him well. I mean, the number, I can't remember. Once or twice.
Beat him twice, and when nobody else was beating them.
Right.
So I think about Joe Klein. Okay, when I think about maybe the most talented Razorback ever might have been Ron Brewer.
Okay.
The guy, you think about it, when he was in the NBA, he was playing with the Spurs, and George Gervin missed 3 games. And Brewer in those games, I think, so Brewer replaced him in the starting lineup and scored more than 30 in every one of them. So his talent level was just extraordinary.
He was, and also the first lottery pick, I think, right, the highest draft choice at that time. He was the first. He was the
7th pick in the draft.
So, the highest at the time. Before Sidney, he was there before
Ron
Sidney,
Creek
right?
Was the 5th,
right. Okay.
The next year.
Next year.
Okay, boy. Then there's just so many great ones. And of course, I probably that's 6.
That's 6.
I probably go back too far on all these, because there were guys I saw, and I'm just trying to think of guys more recently. I got to tell you, Bobby Portis would have to rate, of the most recent players, he's probably the one I would pick, because his 2 years at Arkansas, he was very good. He was an exceptional player, and maybe it's just his Razorback, but the guy was on an NBA championship team too.
Right.
And I think if he'd have been here another year, I think we'd be talking about him among the all-time greats. And then the other one, I'm going to give you one more name that nobody would think of, and I didn't see him play. But Martin Terry had seasons that we've never seen since. The guy, he was a junior college transfer. He came in for 2 years, played for Lanny Van Eman, whose teams would score 100 and give up 105. And so it was all about scoring. And Martin Terry averaged like 26 points a game with no 3-point shot. If they'd have had 3-point field goals, he'd have averaged 35 points a game easily.
Roger mentioned him yesterday.
And he just gets totally washed, because he played in an era when Arkansas wasn't very good.
And no 3-point.
Right.
But a great scorer. So those.
Okay, so we got,
and I'm obviously leaving people out, and I hate to do that.
I know. So here's you: Moncrief, Mayberry, Corliss, Scotty, Klein, Brewer, and then Portis, Terry. So
hey, you got to throw Todd Day in there.
But
the all-time leading scorer.
Yeah, you didn't do it though.
That's right.
Well,
you're taking out.
To do that. No,
right.
put him in.
Can I tell you?
You taking out Mayberry?
Well,
no.
We got Roger. We were talking is that again, these are all skewed towards our age, but you mentioned a couple, Roger. Alvin Robertson was one of the great defenders, All-American of all time.
Here it is.
Well, he and Darrell Walker together were amazing.
Yeah.
That's who I have. Here you go. I got Joe, Alvin, Darrell, Corliss, Todd Day, Bradley, and Boothead. There's mine. But here's the deal.
Bradley?
Pat Bradley.
Oh,
Pat Bradley.
Bradley.
No,
Okay.
Bradley. I'm doing that again. Now, listen, Pat.
Yeah.
Especially Going by
this
what
past
Show.
you don't know how good it is that you pick Klein. Because I him Thursday, so I had to throw it in. But I threw mine in there like that. Yours, of course, I'm thinking about Martin Terry. I don't want to leave out Marvin Delph. I would think that Delph might be in the same thing as Terry would have been in a lesser thing. But you're leaving people out. I mean, heck, I could have even asked for Al Dillard just for some excitement to come in off the bench.
You got the guys like you admit Todd Day, Joe Johnson, and then we mentioned any of the guys in the recent years because what's different, Rick, is that what we saw we saw the draft the other day. You had 3 one and dones. You had 3 freshmen. Yeah.
Well, the other guy that we didn't mention recently is Rodney Clark. I mean, Rodney Clark, if he'd have been here for a 4th year, we wouldn't remember any of the numbers Pat Bradley had because he was close to all of them.
Well,
and would have shattered. He'd have been the SEC all-time 3-point. This guy, he's the only guy to ever score over 50 points in a game for Arkansas.
Yeah, I love though too, Raj, that for Rick, he's got 2 of the original pillars of those Eddie Sutton teams. It really laid the foundation for the greatness that we see in Ron Brewer and Sidney Moncrief. And we can talk even about now the greatness of all these players now, but you still go back and look at those 2 names.
Yeah.
Is always
the original triplets.
And you throw Marvin in there.
That's
and
right.
Marvin is still in a game of horse. I'd take Marvin Delph and Rodney Clark, and I couldn't tell you the winner. And no other Razorback, as good as shooters as we've seen, no other Razorback could have touched those 2.
If you needed just one shot from the longest, I'd have to go Al Dillard and let him shoot it out there from the tail.
I do think
because if he missed, he'd get it again and shoot again. He never turned down a shot.
I think it's interesting that Rick chose Lee Mayberry instead of Todd Day.
I chose Day over Mayberry. Yeah.
Think of the triplets there. You had Oliver Miller, Lee Mayberry, and Todd Day. All 3 of those dudes.
Oliver Miller. See, once you start, well, how do you leave them out?
Yeah.
You know?
Well, then we can throw in Sonny Weems.
So anyways, Rick, we got to tell you before we let you go, I do want to thank Edwards Food Giant for sponsoring you each week.
Thank you to
They're
Edwards
the meat
Food
people.
Giant.
Yeah, I've been hearing your Tacos for Life spot. You're getting a lot of play, man. They're really booming, aren't they?
Yes, they are.
Yeah.
They really are. I mean,
you know who else I left off?
Who?
U.S. Reed.
I know. For one bit, you know what we did,
I didn't
Rick?
mean to.
Rick, we were in Houma, Louisiana, and Thibodaux, Louisiana this weekend, and because of your glowing recommendation of the Yogi Berra documentary, we drove an hour. Watching Lane Hatcher at the Manning Passing Academy with his dad, Greg Hatcher. So Greg said, "Listen, if you guys are saying Yogi's that good," we said, and it's late night. It's probably we're going to go to the 8:00 feature in what was the name of the town? It was outside of New Orleans. So we drove, and I look at Rick, and there's about 15 movies showing, and I don't see Yogi. And Greg had looked on the app, and it said that it was 8:15. So I said, Greg, I don't see Yogi up there. And so they said, we're sorry, sir. That was this morning. We're only showing it one time. So to the theater, if you will show it was like a freak pleasure.
Yeah.
And the guy to download, it's that kind of thing. So we missed it, so we haven't seen it. So we're gonna try to watch that somewhere in Little Rock, or of course we can watch it online. It's also
you can stream it. I saw the preview.
It's streaming.
Yeah,
it is. Yeah, it is streaming.
What's it streaming on?
Well, I saw it on Amazon.
Watch it again.
Yeah, I saw it on Amazon, Rick.
Okay.
And seeing the preview of it, and when his granddaughter, the part where his granddaughter is sitting there by Yogi, and they're looking at the all stars of all those guys, Koufax and all that, and she goes, "Are you dead?" And, but I want to do that when she points out that he's got more MVPs or World Series than the rest of Koufax and Bench and the rest of these guys combined. But it is true what they say. We think of him as Yogi-isms as opposed to the great athlete that he was.
One last thing, Rick, before we let you go. Obviously, the board of trustees passed not the agreement that they're going to do this renovation, but they've hired the architects to look at it. Expected cost between $50 and $100 million. Obviously, you were there when this thing got put together. Just your thoughts on the renovation, needs there. should they tear it down? Should they? Obviously, be pretty.
No.
What about losing 2,000 seats?
If you tear it down, you're going to spend probably $600 or $700 million to build it back.
It cost 30 in 1994.
$30 million dollars, but the athletic budget at that time was probably 12 or 14 million dollars. Now it's 100 and something. So they've got the money to do it. If you lose 2,000 seats, I guess you get a little bit more intimacy, but those 2,000 are going to be lost, so you can put more luxury seats in.
That's it. That's right.
And for the crowd noise, I'm not sure that's a good idea, but for the revenue, you got to do it.
Well, listen, if you've been in there, Roger, we've been in there. It needs an overhaul. Rather. You look at some of the displays, and they're faded.
Yeah, the little room where we're showcasing everybody. It's
been 30 years. Here's a couple of messages. One was from my mother. I'm really enjoying Rick. What a pleasant voice and full of facts that are so interesting. I'm so happy he's now on Mayhem's team. Well, Mother, he's not exact. He's a free agent with us on Tuesday morning.
Contract labor.
Yeah, and here's one. Randy Allison says the same thing. Put Rick's amazing knowledge with his pleasant voice. It's such a pleasure to listen. The compliments continue to. It's soothing. Yes. All right. Well, listen. Great stuff as always, Rick. We appreciate you, buddy. Have a great day.
All right. Y'all have a super day too.
Thanks, Rick.
Buddy, that's the one and only Rick Schaefer. I wonder if you're young, Roger. You're listening to that. You're going, well, of course you picked all the old guys. Is there anybody from the last 20 years?
I mean, I wanted to say, Martin, I gave you my list of the guys that I love, which I also think are outstanding. I don't think anybody would intimidate Alvin Robertson or Darrell Walker. They just wouldn't.
No,
not anybody today. And and I guess the thing is, if we looked at it this way as well, whom from my list or even Rick's list could play in any era, and who from today could play in the other ones? I don't know. But it'd be fun to
the ones we mentioned are great ones. So
again, doesn't get enough respect that he does.
Yeah.
And to say that Lee Mayberry is who made Todd Day, I think Todd Day's
Wait, well, distinct opinion on that. Two people, Justin Moore coming up next, and Pat will be in the studio. How about that?
Obviously.
What a treat!
I picked Pat even before I thought about him.
You did. Look at that. We got to play Family Feud today. Brought to you by Southern Bank. We got to do more trivia giveaways.
We've got multiple pairs.
Okay, I tell you what. The first person who texts us that wants to go see Chris Jansen at Oaklawn this weekend, it's Sunday. You go to the website for more information.
661.
Rick Schaefer is reading.
Oh,
Tame it the title.
No.
Because it's something specific because we laughed about it. 661-1037 if you want to win the Chris Jansen. Don't do it if you don't want to win the Chris Jansen tickets.
Yeah, I don't even know.
Yes.
Remember.
Yeah, you don't remember? Think about it. I do. Because remember, because I said that's a really creative title. Rick goes, I didn't write. I'm not writing the book. I'm just reading it.
No.
Our smart listeners, Roger, have it. Watch what happens.
They should run the board.
All right, 7:30. What was that one, Raj?
Happy Gilmore. Excuse me, Billy Madison.
I wonder if that's yeah. I can't remember that now. Oh, here we go. This is Chris Jansen. That's good. We've got tickets. Look at it. So he actually, Roger, he's as well known as a writer. He's written for Justin, Cody Johnson, Tim McGraw. So anyway, that's Sunday night, right? July 2nd. Yeah, that's because the 4th is on Tuesday. Yes, that's right. So we've got a winner, Raj. Let's go to the. Is it Keith Hammer? Is this Keith?
That's it.
To the book question.
Short.
So, Roger, you remember now? Yeah.
No.
Are you?
Where you going, brother?
You're in. Where you calling from?
I'm actually down in South Arkansas right now. We're headed to South Louisiana for a work trip. So.
You know what? Wait a second now. Is Keith Hammer our first winner ever on Morning Mayhem's
Text line that we've done, I think, over the air that we've gotten them, but we've awarded them.
We actually,
you barely the other people behind, but job well done, buddy. We appreciate you listening.
Yeah, we sure do. Thanks for taking us with you down the road.
I appreciate it, guys.
Well, hold on. Let Josh get your info, and he's going to tell you how you can get those tickets, or at least how you can get down there. Now, very good. Way to go, Keith Hammer,
well done,
Hammerman.
We haven't read much. Of our, oh my gosh, I just went blank on the.
Thanks to everybody on the live fan feedback.
Yeah, the Asher Record live fan feedback.
Is it still that?
Seats are all full and never full. People sitting out there in those seats. Now it was expensive than I think they originally thought. Here's one that says, Ryan said the board has approved the hiring of an architect. They have not approved the renovations yet. That is correct.
Right.
Yes. So that is off our Azure Record Live fan feedback.
All right. Go ahead. I'm just still thinking about that Razorback Dream Team.
Is there somebody on there that you're unhappy about?
I'm not unhappy about any of them. I just hate the fact that we left some of them off because I just remember the tenacity of Darrell Walker, Alvin. I mean,
yeah,
Reed.
And that's a top 10 team. Yeah, those are all top 10 teams.
Listen, U.S. Reed and his 360 stop on a dime 360 it'd still be a highlight. It'd be on the TikTok.
Yeah.
But maybe it's what do you call it when I'm not daydreaming, when I'm thinking back in the good old days.
If you want to send us your grade 8 Razorback Dream Team, that would be great. Just 661-1037. Did want to mention earlier, had a great time at the Arkansas Sports Hall of Fame golf tournament yesterday. Got a chance to play with good guys like Robert Range from the Gangster Museum, Bill Lawrence from Delta.
Good job.
I mentioned Tony Orr, who's a pharmaceutical salesperson, and Chad Gentry, who we found out is the largest goldfish supplier.
Yeah. No, we're not. And I think we're getting ready to get $1 billion for. I don't know how high speed it's going to be. Now, I don't want somebody to get free faster than I'm paying right now $100 for.
Yeah,
That's just me. I'm selfish.
Roger, real quick, did you see there was a story about snow cones? Are you in the Democrat Gazette today? Are you a snow cone guy?
Hell yeah.
Do you pull up on stand and get your snow cone?
No, I use crushed ice on my cranberry juice, and I chew ice like nobody.
That's what you do. Josh, what about you? What's that?
I am in on snow cones.
So, because did you have a place that you would always go to get your snow cones?
Yes, I would always go to the concession stand at the baseball, at
Sure.
like the baseball field.
What would you get? What would you get? Would you get the what do they call it? The suicide?
I
deal
would
with all
mix
the
them
different-
up.
Yeah.
They end up being this purplish color because I'd mix all the flavors together. But I would do a little bit of the red, a little bit of the blue.
I don't call it that anymore, but you would
yeah.
combine all the flavors
That was
together.
a soda
Oh,
anyway. I don't know about
that. Okay.
yeah. Suicide was what you called the soda.
It might
You
be
have the line.
rainbow. I probably then it was rainbow.
Yes,
Anyway,
yes.
suicide was the soda. Shaved ice now is that same
Is that the
thing?
I
same
think so.
thing?
Yeah.
Okay, when
Yeah.
I took the boys to the zoo,
They love it.
Oh, well, it was 180 degrees on that walkway.
The story of that one, the shaved ice place that's been there for 30 years. You know, because some of these shaved ice places they don't open up until like just for the summer, but they've been there for 30 years.
It was
so.
amazing, and now they're in cups. But it was amazing that little paper cone held that.
I know.
ice.
Yes,
Man,
it was
yeah.
wonderful. Let's squeeze in a couple calls real
All
quick.
right,
We'll go
Don,
to
we're going to
break.
squeeze them together
Yeah,
and make one here.
Good morning. Sorry, you've been holding. Go
Who's
ahead.
this? Hello.
You're on the air, and of course, somebody says we are the number one producer of rice as well. That's right. We obviously
Duck Capital.
The what?
Duck Capital.
We are number one there. Yes, that's exactly right. We're also looking for significant numbers in your life that we could throw out. Roger, has his 100th trivia night tonight at Boudreaux's, and we're celebrating that.
We had one. I missed it during the trivia, but we were doing. But somebody called in and said that they had 50 days since bypass surgery. So
very nice.
Absolutely. I guess if somebody was a cancer survivor, that when you ring that bell for 5 years, that's something.
Yeah.
I'm just throwing out my cop stuff, aren't I?
As we go to break, Roger, there was a study. I don't know if you saw it. A new poll. People enjoy chit chatting. So
right.
what's the breakdown?
10%.
So it says here, a new poll found that 35% of us enjoy small talk or chit chat, while 24% dislike or hate it. And so,
I think you just hate it with me.
No.
My brother is so good at small talk. I am not.
But here's this, including 18% who think they're great at it.
Great at it.
Yeah.
Who measures how great they are? What?
We can ask our man Justin Moore if he likes
up.
small talk.
He's up. Hey, Jay Bird.
What's up, guys?
Hey.
What's up?
Here's the. We were with.
I did that because I don't want to small talk with you guys.
Here's the dilemma that I had. So we're coming back from Houma, Louisiana, with Mr. Hatcher, his son Lane, myself, and Basil. And Basil goes,
"You're coming back to God's country."
That's right. So we get on the plane, and Baz immediately goes, Roger, listen to this. Roger, you shit up there from the pilot seat. I said, well, I'm not going to do that unless Greg says it. Lane's here. He goes, no. Listen, I got a lot of work to do. Who goes, why don't you just not stay back here with me and bother me?
I didn't say that.
That's what baby Bubba.
And you sat right next to me the whole time.
Yes. To you talk to me. I didn't answer you, and you go, you can't hear. We're getting
you can't hear.
And then I get out a deck of cards. I start playing cards. You stop working. And go, is what you did, and put me. But of course, here's the deal. What a horrible life I have. If I, why don't you sit in the? Sit back here. Let Lane sit.
When we come back, I have a theory on why Baz uses the laptop all the time. Same thing.
Okay.
Strategic.
Listen, because I'm going to be doing a lot of work.
he uses, all right, hey, why don't you sit up there
Yes.
in the co-pilot seat because I got a lot of work to do. All right.
He shut me down in conversation.
No.
Started.
God bless my friend.
Before we get started, why don't you just not sit back here with me? Jackass.
LSU.
The hell would we play that for?
I can't wait to hear what Justin says with that. 18-4 final score. Tigers hammer the Gators. You know, we were talking earlier, Justin.
Moving along.
I didn't realize that LSU had won 4 natties in the 90s. Pretty darn amazing.
Yeah, like I said, all right.
Somebody
we don't no need to hash it out.
Somebody
Who cares? Nobody. And I was listening yesterday, and I'll tell you guys what I was doing.
Okay.
But I was listening yesterday, and you know, me and Roger Bucks. That's his word.
Yes,
That's right. That's right.
And he said, if you're Ole Miss, if you're Florida, if you're this, if you're that, call in. I'm thinking, not while I'm on. If you're a Texas or Florida fan, do not call.
Well, you have to feel for them because they don't have a show that they can listen to, even streaming. They're even streaming their own station.
Come back.
There's no.
I
Listen,
just don't agree with you.
listen.
Justin, 2 things too. We got a really short segment here. We're talking about Chris Jansen. Now, Chris, it was amazingly open. You said open up for you Saturday night in Ohio.
Yeah, I was actually just texting him when we came back. I'm gonna text him, tell him to come on and talk to us.
Yeah,
but,
I got to do that this week. Yeah, it sounds like
yeah,
he's a good.
He's a good guy. We've known each other for a long time, and played a ton of shows together. We're actually label mates right now. But yeah, I've known his wife for a long time, who manages him, and good people.
Back to back, you Randy Hauser, obviously a buddy of yours, and Chris Jansen, both playing at Oaklawn back to back, and so tickets still available for Chris Jansen.
Well, Justin, you want to do trivia and try to win a pair?
Ohio together
Saturday
night. Yeah, really good show. Probably 15,000 people, something like that.
Was his biggest hit the buy a boat? Is that his big one?
That one, and he had a love. I mean, he's had 10 or 12 hits, but that one, and he had a love song that was really, really big a few years ago too. But yeah, probably Buy Me a Boat, I'd say, was probably his biggest.
Some of our text line, Bass, could you talk about the Touchdown Club and maybe drop a nugget about who we can expect this year, man?
There's no nugget.
Listen, I am
he
working hard.
He doesn't tell anybody.
I'm working hard.
He's not even telling me what he's doing in Hot Springs this week. You won't even tell me that. You think I'm going to be able to find out who's coming? I'll tell you who's coming.
Here's one of my
Nathan Brown's coming.
My daughter
is going to the Hattery.
My daughter rides with me to work every morning. She's almost 2. She's now in the habit of saying randomly,
foot on the first step. Hey, why don't you sit up front? I got work to do. Why don't you
family feature Pat Brown.
Anybody from LSU, Ole Miss, Florida?
8:00. You haven't been on the show since the NBA draft because that was Thursday night, right? No, you did Friday. You did Friday with us, right? On the bus. You did the full.
No,
right?
I did Thursday with you on the bus.
Okay, so we because
if I'm not
it
mistaken,
was in the draft was Thursday night, right? I think
Yes.
yeah. So first of all, I just want to get your take on what happened with our man Anthony Black going 6 to Orlando and Nick dropping to I think 28 with Charlotte, and then no Ricky Council draft, just a free agency, and then obviously Walsh going to the Celtics.
Yeah, I think Nick was 25 or 26.
I might be off a couple.
It doesn't matter. I mean,
Yep.
it's the same thing. Yeah, I mean, it was about what I expected, to be honest with you. Nick was kind of a wild card. I mean, I could have seen him going 15th or in the second round, and he kind of fell right there in between. And, had he played all year, I think he would have been probably a lottery pick as well, obviously, and just kind of unfortunate for him. But I mean, he's still a first round pick. I mean,
right. That's right. That's right.
That's incredible. And I think where did Walsh go?
I think it was a Sacramento pick, but I think Boston ended up getting the trade. Yeah, Boston was where.
Yeah. So he's going somewhere. I mean, which Pat can speak to this a lot better than I can.
Right.
I think him going to an organization that has a history of winning, and they're good right now. And I even listened to their GM, their former coach, but head coach, but GM, the guy that came from Butler. Brad Stevens. Yeah. Thank you, Josh. Talking about him, saying, hey, look, he's not going to come in and
get your computer.
Basically start right away and be a superstar, but he's got a chance to be in so many words, he said he's got a chance to come in and be a really great moving forward 3-and-D player. And I agree with that. And so that's another example of drafting on potential, and with his wingspan and length and all that. But no, it was about what I expected, I guess, to answer your question. Everything that took place, and Anthony, everything I read, he could have gone anywhere from like 4th to 8th, and he went 6th. So.
Yeah, how about that? We were talking about that when we at the beginning of the season, I knew we couldn't get Nick. I knew Nick would be too expensive for us to do a call with, and so that's why we went after Anthony, and he had such a good reputation. And all the talk was about Nick being, in the top 3 or 4 or 5, whatever it was. And Anthony, he's good. He's a good, but got to be a one and doneer most likely. But have that sort of reverse. So I'm very happy for Anthony, and good kid. And boy, the things that the management for Orlando was saying about him, very complimentary, just high IQ, great kid, selfless player. So anyway, and the other part of it, Justin, how nice it helps the program. Obviously, you got 3 first, 3 of the first 38 picks are freshmen that you've recruited. So nice feather in Muss's cap.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And and Muss said as much yesterday in his presser. I think it was yesterday. Had Brazil not gotten hurt,
right,
he would have been a lottery pick.
Yeah.
You would have had, it would have been like the day Mayberry Miller draft. We would have had 3 first rounders, had he not gotten hurt.
It could be a blessing in disguise too, because you might have a lottery pick next year now, which actually would be nice to have one, another year in a row.
And selfishly as a Razorback fan, it's looking forward to next year. You're going, oh my gosh, thank God we got Brazil back.
I agree with that 100%. And so again, amazing how good he would be. Yeah, I'm fine. How good how good we could have been if we'd have got Brazil. But it's going to be nice this season when we have a chance to have him the whole season. A couple other things. Some questions here. Somebody asked Justin, how was Sarnia? That was Canada. How was your time in Canada?
The Chronicles of Sarnia. No, it was good. It was. It's never fun crossing the border. Because you just cross it whenever you get there, and it may be, 3 a.m. or whatever, and you got to wake up and. But it was good. It was a good show, and
I don't even remember who was there with us. A couple of Canadian acts, I believe. But yeah, it was good.
I just saw your text about Chris Jansen. Roger, you remember that Chris Jansen came out and played a song with Justin at the Ryman?
I do not.
I don't either. I guess I probably would.
I was probably hanging out with Ricky Skaggs at the time.
He came out and did Raj, that hot old summer sun will make you beg for your next breath. So you best be on the creek bank late in the shade. You remember that song?
Oh, I do know that song, Baby Bubba. Yeah, that's good stuff.
It's on my live album, Live from the Ryman.
You know what? I guess I've never even seen that yet. Oh,
yeah. You know what? That's right. That's on YouTube, right? That whole concert, the Ryman, right?
Well, yeah, but it's I don't know.
Is it?
He don't make no money if we go on YouTube.
Yeah, it's an album we put out. I mean, it's one of my albums. But you can go get live
at the Ryman.
Yeah, Live at the Ryman.
Wow.
Yeah,
album.
So
it's got the song with Ricky, the song with David Lee Murphy, the song with Chris Jansen, and then our 15 or whatever.
I have to go back and watch that.
I've got
because
you can download,
you listen to it if
iTunes
you don't listen,
or whatever you
sure
get your music on.
Well, I got you, but I guess if it was recorded, I saw it from backstage.
Yeah, I've got some
front would be cool.
I've got some cool photos from the way the lights coming in. I'll have to send those to you just if I did do that before. A couple things we're talking about today. Tonight is Roger's 100th trivia night at Boudreaux's. So we're celebrating that by recognizing significant numbers in your life. Like I gave for you as example, one easy one. You've had 11 number ones. Obviously, 12th is on the way. Is there any other number, for example, like when your season at Poen, the basketball season, how many games did you win that championship year? 36, 40?
39.
39. So that's a number.
We had one game canceled due to snow and ice. And so we were always like, man, we would have went 40-0.
Nice.
But I don't know, there's something cool about 39, I guess.
Yeah. These are just numbers, and Rogers were related to sober for
sobriety, no smoking,
10 years, 12. How many?
I think your anniversary is obviously your anniversary is in there. How many kids you have?
Yeah. So Rick, I don't know if you heard Rick, but Rick Schaefer said he went back. I'd asked him to do this early this morning. He calculated and that he was involved with 1,124 Razorback basketball games over 34 years. Wow. He either called the game, worked at sports information. So anyway, I thought that was pretty cool. So we're still getting on. For example, I see one. Hey, it's been 36 years since I've had my kidney transplant.
Fantastic.
Yeah, very nice. Yeah. The other thing I went back and watched the Dream Team documentary last night while I was working on my computer.
Did you watch the one that's got the tapes of the scrimmage?
Oh.
Magic Johnson. They didn't have that for the longest time. Right. I forgot who had it.
So good.
But it's unreal, isn't it? Those two guys going back and forth.
Have you seen that, Justin?
No, I have not.
It is basically, Roger, if you remember at that point, Magic had just set out a year because of the HIV. So he was in the backside of his career. Larry Bird could barely, because of his back. And then, Jordan was coming on the scene. Jordan was, the new sheriff in town. And there were times in that practice.
They talk also about him not wanting Isaiah there.
Yes, that was at the beginning. Yeah, that was part of it too. Fascinating deal. Yeah. And just in watching the scrimmage and how they lost the first one, they lost to the college team, and then they came back and destroyed the college team. And anyway, I started thinking of the Dream Team for
that. Yeah, and they never beat them again. No. They played like 10 times or something.
Well, Daly wanted them to play bad so he could have their attention the rest of the day.
Right. So, and one of them talks about seeing each other in the hotel room and or hotel and hall and like one of the older guy, Barkley or somebody like that, and he goes, you better go get some rest or something.
Well,
is that the one you're talking about?
I saw the majority of it. Another part of it was they were talking about how Jordan would never stop. He would play cards all night. He played golf 36, they said his energy levels were just nuts off the chart. And of course, Barkley pushed, he was the mean guy. He pushed people and bullied them. And
they said that in the Last Dance, they said that MJ and Scotty would go out with people the night before and they'd wake up the next day like, we're gonna kick your ass today, because like you'd be tired and dead, and they could just go.
Right.
Those guys, they wouldn't stop.
And then all the teams that were playing, one of the other pictures taken before, it was all, they were like the Beatles. They went to Monaco for some warm up, and they were rock stars. And they went to Barcelona, and even Stockton and Malone were saying, we didn't realize how big it was until we got to Barcelona, and there were cop cars everywhere. It was like the Beatles.
It was huge.
But anyway, it got me thinking about, of course, I transitioned from there to the Razorback Dream Team, the Great Eight. So I asked Rick to give me of the all-time, if you could pick 8 Razorbacks for your dream team, what would the 8 be? And Rick gave us Sidney Moncrief, Lee Mayberry, Corliss, Scotty Thurman, what would you remember the stat he gave for Scotty?
Yeah, game winners.
He took 7 game-winning shots in the last minute, did not miss one. I think who was the one he compared to? Yeah,
Boothead. Really?
Yeah, he said Boothead with 3, but he said Scotty in his career for the Razorbacks was 7 for 7 game-winning shots, so that's why he put him on there. And then he put Joe Klein, Ron Brewer, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then his other 2, he put Bobby Portis. And then he went back and threw a guy named Martin Terry, who may be the greatest shooter ever, but it was before
he was great.
It was before Eddie Sutton and before the 3-point line. So no Tom Darrell, no Alvin O'Darrell.
He came back and threw. He said Mayberry's the one that set him up.
I would have to have Todd Day on there.
Yeah, I would.
I know. As much as I love Bobby, I would probably have him not on there.
Yeah. Baz, you almost
I'd probably have somebody else on there besides him.
Who would you have on there? Who would be the other one?
Give me your 8.
All right, so Bobby's plays like the 4.
And Rick also, when he didn't go by position either, Justin, he went by talent, the athleticism, and all that. So you don't have to do that.
Well, you think about it.
I would have to. I would swap him and Todd Day for sure.
Or somebody said, of course, he acted like Lee Mayberry made Todd Day great too.
Me personally, I would have Corey Beck on there.
Well, you could have, yeah.
As a backup to Lee Mayberry. Mayberry was a bad man too. I mean, he was awesome.
He made a great point about Joe Klein. Our buddy Joe just said, if Hakeem Olajuwon had not been playing at Houston the years Joe was there, Joe would have been, even because
everybody's All-American.
And so, but that was a great point that, he didn't get near the recognition because Olajuwon was playing there with Clyde Drexler. Yep. So anyway, so that's I just thought that was interesting to see his take on it. Yep. Nobody 20 years basically, right?
Well, Portis. He had Portis
in there. No Joe Johnson.
No.
Which
no Joe Johnson. No Sonny Week.
Yeah,
no Dusty Hannes.
Forget about Joe Johnson.
Yeah, Josh.
Yeah. The thing is, Joe had a better, in my opinion, had a better pro career than he did college. College, he was good in college, but at least to me, he wasn't like spectacular in college. He was smooth, and I mean, he was really, really good. Don't get me wrong.
Right. Yeah,
I actually thought about Clint McDaniel as well.
But yeah, Clint.
But that's just homerism.
But Joe, he's probably made more in the pros than any Razorback in history.
And also, Justin, there was a period of time where Joe Johnson was the most clutch player in the NBA, which is
for sure.
Was he on bad teams?
Plus, he was on the.
I'd tell you another great player that is underrated because he was only here for a year, but he was great and clutch. Moses Moody was damn good.
Yeah.
I mean, he was really good.
Was he a one and done or was he 2 years?
Yeah, he was one and done lottery pick. He was our first lottery pick. Yeah,
you wonder how good all those guys could have been.
One and done lottery pick.
Yeah, you wonder how good all these guys like him, if they'd have played 3 years, would we?
Yeah, I would put Joe out there before I would put Portis out there. Johnson.
Yeah. So anyway, that's
without a doubt.
That's just something we may chew on that for a few days. Here's a couple of the messages. Tell Justin Moore I feel the same about LSU, Tennessee, and Georgia. Roll Tide. Yeah, I guess if you're.
So you just said thank you to a. Yes, sir.
You can text in.
So let it be written. So let it be done.
Good. Talking over others. That's exactly right. We were talking
on this show.
So, growing up as a kid, Justin,
Sure.
how many people love it? Here's what it says: the best shaved ice is in Caddo Valley, Gator Ice. I'll dang near drive from Benton just to get one.
Listen, we had snow cones then. I don't know that snow cones exist anymore, if in fact that's shaved ice.
Yeah,
That's two different things.
It is. It is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because we know.
Y'all just came back from Thibodeau, Homa, where
Yep.
Kate's from.
Yep.
They call shaved ice snowballs.
Snowballs, that's funny.
Yeah, they really do. I'm not making a joke
Really?
about snowball.
No.
And we call it shaved ice.
Oh, wow.
Obviously here.
Snowballs.
It's the same thing, but
Okay.
yeah.
Well, I will say this, boy, we had some good eating down there, man. That's one thing that it's the heat and
I'm
humidity
still
is bad, but man, the food is quality.
Weaning
It's authentic,
myself.
Cajun down there. It was
All the research on the ice cream we had to do was also unbelievable.
doing this with Lane Hatcher now. This is the third year.
Yeah.
The first year I think he was at Arkansas State,
Yeah.
the next year Texas State, and then this year he's at Ball State at the Manning Passing Academy. So we get off the plane. He's not a man of many words. Lane is like his dad. He's not a big runner of his mouth. So Greg says, by the way, we're walking back. We're leaving, get ready to go home. He goes, do you know who Lane Hatcher's favorite country music artist is? And Roger, I don't know who. Justin Moore. He said, I said, you're kidding me.
No kidding.
Yeah, he said, yeah, Greg said he's been listening to Justin Moore for 10 years, knows every word of every one of your
Lane
songs.
said that.
Lane
I know
said,
every
Lane said
word
that.
of every song.
Yeah, Lane said
Wow.
that.
Wow.
And then, of course, Greg and Lee are going. We're all going up
Very
to see at
cool.
Dewey Beach this Friday night. Yeah, you'll be playing Thursday and Friday night. Looking forward to doing that.
Yeah.
Well, thanks, Lane.
Yeah, how
That's
about
cool,
that?
man.
Isn't that
I
cool?
appreciate that. Yeah, he's been listening since he was 6.
Another guy. Another. We're doing Friday night.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. Both of them are sold out.
Are y'all staying the night? Or y'all
Yeah,
taking off
we're
that
going to
night?
stay the night. Our buddy Don Grisham was nice stuff because it's all sold out. He got rooms for us
Yep.
and the Hatchers for so we'll
Oh,
fly in
cool.
about we'll get in I think about 3:30, 4:30. Go get something to eat and is the venue half open, half under? I mean, it's sort of an outdoor indoor kind of deal, or is it all indoor? Looking at the pictures, it looks like part of it's
I
exposed to
think-
the
yeah,
outdoor.
I think you're right.
Yeah,
I think it's
it's a
kind
beach
of,
town.
It almost kind of reminds you of if you guys have been up in Fayetteville to like JBGB.
Yeah. I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Before it went inside and got covered up.
Yeah,
If
it was
do you
partially
remember that?
outside. Yeah, I
remember
do.
when it was?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's kind of what it reminds me of.
It's a beach town kind of venue, which is really cool. It's very
Yeah.
intimate. It's sold
And
out.
I was listening to you guys, and Josh was saying yesterday there's nothing to go to Delaware for. You must not have been to Dewey Beach because
I'm saying
I
outside
thought the
of that.
same
Outside
thing.
of that.
I thought the same thing. I'm like, what the hell are we going to Dewey Beach, Delaware for?
Yeah.
Golly. And matter of fact, I left the beach in Florida to go do it the first time, and I'm going, oh my God, what are we doing? But this town, man, is really, really awesome. I mean,
It's a beach town. It's a small beach town.
Like
yeah.
if you being single, Josh, you need to go do it. Especially being an East Coast guy, you would love it. I mean, it's really a. I'm as
Josh.
surprised. I'm as surprised as anybody. I promise you, because I'm a Southern guy, and I'm like, I didn't want to give it any credit, but I've been going now for 3 or 4 years. It's really, really cool.
I'll have to give it a try. You all have convinced
Yeah,
me.
you should.
You all have convinced me.
Yeah, so that'll be
I'm just as surprised as anybody. I'm going, wow, wow. This is wow, this is really cool. It's almost like the northern, northeast or east, whatever you want to call it, version of like Panama City.
Yeah.
Or something
Okay.
like that.
yeah.
It's kind of that vibe.
How many concerts have we seen at Justin's now?
Well,
5 or 6?
River.
And I saw where you River, Fort Worth,
George Strait.
George Strait.
Uh,
Well, of course you did the charity. If
Oh,
you did,
yeah,
the
you
3 or
said
4.
George. yeah, I'm counting those.
Yeah,
concerts.
probably 6 or
That's
7.
5. That's 5.
How many
Probably
how many
10.
bus ones have we done? We just three,
How many
4?
what?
Where we
Too many.
get on the bus with him.
Back in from Fort Worth.
Well, there was one year I did.
when
I was part of your
Shop-
security.
Chopping
That's
Elvis.
part of your security
Chopping
there for
Bass
one.
came
For
out.
helping
True,
you with
true.
So we won't go into
Absolutely.
All right, let's take a break. When we come back, Pat Bradley will be in studio. We're going to play a little family feud brought to you by Southern Bank. If you want to be a part of the show, 661-1037 is the number. It's National Bingo Day, National Pineapple Day, National Sunglasses Day, National Onion Day. We need to call Frank and see what again. We found out if there's no onions
On the I think he does
I'm with Frank. I do too.
Okay, yeah, okay. That's the difference. Yeah, that's. Did you do some onion rings in
yeah, thin ones? We just put a shoestring on and fried it.
How funny is it that we're going to Boudreaux's tonight for your trivia, and we
give me that key and what give that the boy. That's not so much different than Jilla Papa Booty Papa.
If you want to be a part of the number, text us or call us. It's 8:30.
Come on now. I said, come on now. Tina, take us out.
I'll be performing with Justin. Dewey Beach this weekend.
Come on.
Papa Lung.
Shake.
Down.
He knows the words.
Now.
No.
PB, what's up, buddy?
Wow.
Good morning.
You were really belting out those two.
I was. John loves my chainsaw. I'm gonna be on his next album.
I once shared the stage with JM.
JM, do you
Justin
remember?
Moore.
Do you remember that, Justin?
Yeah, but I sang.
Of
Just-
course, I remember that.
You sang what was the song?
No shirt on.
What was this?
Singing with the shooter.
Beta Hook.
Beta
Hey,
Hook.
buddy.
Where was this?
Hot Springs.
Ah,
Isn't that right, Justin?
Oh,
Oh, it was right. It's right, my buddy. It's right.
Hey,
How are you, pal?
Good, buddy.
he slept. Listen, he came to the bed, came to his PB bedroom last night. They got new stuff, new lights for him,
New
and all
lights.
new rugs, and you still didn't sleep comfortably. I don't know what the deal is, Pat.
No, that's just me.
You have something internally going on that's making me.
I got so much internally going on. You don't even know. Can you imagine laying down every night and having the thoughts that go through my head? How
Yes.
could anybody sleep? Scat Daddy.
I'm telling you right now, it's frightening. I don't even think Tim
Do
Burton
you
can
know the
make a
things that I know?
Yes, I do.
You've been there. You've been there for half of them.
Before we dive in with PB, let's want to acknowledge over at Oaklawn. We mentioned earlier Justin's buddy Chris Jansen performing this Sunday night. There are tickets available. So go to oaklawn.com. And while you're there, I tell you what, the one that Jessica's so excited about, Rogers, Ricky Skaggs and Kentucky Thunder. That's getting close to a sellout. That's July 14th.
Yeah.
You got the Four Tops August 25th.
Yeah.
Nitty Gritty Dirt Band September 10th.
Yep.
The Beach Boys, they're sold out. The other one, I didn't realize Buddy Guy was coming November 3rd, but Casey and the Sunshine. Oh, it's officially sold out. KC is officially sold out.
Yeah.
KC, he's been doing it for a while.
So you got all that activity going on
He
in
ain't
Oaklawn.
starving,
And
that's for
also
sure.
this weekend, you're wrapping up the Red, White, and Blue slot tournament that's been going on in the month of June. So get over there and be a part of that. Book your, get you lay out by the pool. Let that be.
Wow. Jay Moore.
Now, singing.
Hey, that's healthy living.
I mean, his bigger than mine, which is a lot.
I
Right now.
guarantee you, he wear
Great
it.
pads.
Let me tell you this: if we got to get you a Morning Mayhem shirt.
You don't have one.
You're gonna
shirt.
get one. You're gonna get one today.
You
know
got
what I
double
said?
X?
Do I have double X? You're double X.
So Pat,
What kind of
you're in town for
style
a
of
few
shirt?
days, right? You missed
Town a
the
couple days.
tournament yesterday, but you went out and said
Double
hello.
X.
Missed the tournament. Miss Justin Moore. Justin Moore. Gonna be. Are you in Bryant? No. Where is Justin? You home?
He's in Poland.
Poland.
Yeah.
I'm home.
I
Yeah,
gotta go
I
tomorrow.
got to leave tomorrow to go to Delaware. But you and I will see each other. Is it next month?
Well, I'm sorry
Oh
to say.
gosh.
So here's what
Here's
what happened. So Justin plays at Foxwoods or Mohegan, which is a Connecticut
Casino.
big
Yeah,
casino in
right.
Connecticut. So when he comes through, and he
It's a
did it
tradition.
a
You
couple
go see
years
him.
ago,
Yeah.
right?
you got the whole crew and
whole
you bring them out.
at about it's 20 people. Justin takes pictures, gets us on his bus, the big Razorback logo. Gino Covino, Tommy
Covino.
Letta, they're going wild, shooting whiskey with Jay Moore. We'd go. we have a
Gino
good time.
Covino.
True
I love
story.
it.
True
Yes.
story. So we're in front of the stage. Clint Sterner was there actually with his
Yes,
at the time
yes.
his wife now.
Right.
True story. Justin and them are playing. Justin, I don't know if it was you or your guitar player. He looks at us in the crowd and he flicks his guitar pick
Wow.
in the crowd. My buddy
Skills.
Gino, hand-eye coordination through the. He snatched the guitar pick out of the air, and you know something? They have that framed, Justin, and it's hanging in their house. His wife has it.
No
Hanging in their
kidding.
house.
Very nice. Very cool.
So what happened was
What happened was
a
Yeah,
couple.
Pat texted me. I don't know, a month or two ago, and said, "Hey, y'all are coming back." And is it the first?
The second, I believe, Saturday the second, right? Oh no, you're Friday the 1st.
Talk about
I don't know.
in,
Anyway, go ahead. I'm
yeah,
Yeah,
sorry.
well, a couple of the old boys, went sideways with their old ladies, and so
I hear that happens.
So it was
Yes.
tough to get that solid crew back together again.
Wow.
But we're gonna circle back when everybody gets
So
together on the
because
move.
they did that, you can't come.
Yeah.
All right, I'm coming.
I
I'm
mean,
coming.
you can't come. You can come solo.
That's
Hang
right.
with me for the week. Ride the bus for the weekend.
Do you
Yeah.
need do you need anybody to help haul some equipment around? I make a few
No,
bucks.
you just come hang with me for the whole weekend.
Yeah.
Well, I possibly would,
Nice.
but I'm also going to New York City to
Yeah.
Coney Island for the
Wow.
hot dog eating
Oh, that's right. It's
contest.
your first time for that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So I'm going to see Joey Chestnut.
I got you.
Is he? Is he a Boston guy, Joey Chestnut?
I think he's Cali. I think he's got. Now, what did I say? Justin Moore doesn't like onions. I eat onions raw.
Do you really? That's what makes you the shooter.
So, you guys probably know this.
No,
'cause-
are we just gonna like bury the lead here? Like he's gonna go see a hot dog contest?
Here's the reason
What?
why. Because you guys know Guy Whitney.
Yes.
He lives in New York City.
Right.
Last year, I bought a ticket. We were going to go to the hot dog eating contest, and I missed my flight. And then I missed the next flight the next day. And so I felt bad, Jay Moore. And I'm trying to, I got to, make good on it.
Okay, if you want to go and support Gluttony instead of me, that's fine. Whatever.
All right, I'm changing my plans. I'm with Jay Moore.
So how long are you in town for? 2-3 days?
Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to head out. I gotta take care of some business.
I was telling Roger you got to go by Summerwood Sports today.
Summerwood
Yeah,
Sports.
and check out the
We gotta get you
facilities
hooked
there.
up. David Hendricks, Dexter Hendricks. Pat is looking for his satellite office here in Arkansas to do your basketball clinics. Now, is basketball clinics the only thing you want to do? You want to do some other things in there?
Oh, everything.
Okay, a little vacation Bible school, maybe. We can do that. We can do that.
Little mentoring program, but
Paper
that's how,
mache.
that'd be a great place for you guys to do the show.
We've done the show there.
I
You
mean,
just-
again, with
we-
Jay
and we
Moore
will do
and
it.
me, so we can test out
I'd
the
love
rims.
to have Jay Moore here. Listen, we're working on getting a live picture of him right now. We don't even have we got an artist rendering of him up there. That's all we have. We can't get a picture. Kate Moore, would you please send Basil the photograph that you want us to have of your hubby?
I'm picking it out. I'm
Well,
just going to do it.
well, I don't think you, Mrs. Moore. I shun to think, huh?
Speaking of new pictures, I need a new picture on our website.
Yeah,
because
you've lost
I was
weight.
about 15 pounds heavier.
I like it. I like it.
And it's horrible. I want one with a cowboy hat on so I stand out. amongst you,
How many times do you think you
you
guys so we've all known each other for like closely worked for what 15, 20 years, right?
Yep.
So Jay Moore and I know I'm that way. How often have you guys fluctuated between gaining 15 and losing 15? To where you always sort of
over the
end up-
last, for me at least, over the last, I don't know, 10 years, I'd say, 2 or 3 times.
Yeah, I do it about every other year. I'll gain 15, lose 15.
Last few years, I think you've been pretty consistent keeping lean, man.
I put on 15 easily.
So Roger never. He's not gained a
Not
pound
true.
in 20
Not
in
true.
10 years.
But
You
he's-
haven't.
He's
lean.
gardens naked.
He's lean. I know. He's lean. He's got to.
Listen.
Can you imagine looking down and there's nothing to
Listen, you know what people are calling me now in Benton? RFK Jr.
Listen, that dude's juicing. He's juicing.
He's 7 years old. He's a Kennedy. He didn't have to work. He go to the gym every day.
Yeah.
All
Do you
right.
think the
But he
implants
is
in
still
his
jacked
chest?
up, though. You know who he looks like? He looks like he's jacked up. Who do you think's juicing? Him or Kevin Kelly?
Kevin's got smaller, which is very
Would
He's
impressive.
gotten smaller, but he's more vascularly.
Would you guys lose respect for a man if they did liposuction
No.
and had
do what you do.
no,
whatever
maybe
makes
like
you happy.
implants,
No,
like
no.
ab
Whatever
implants?
makes you
I
happy.
want ab
Chest-
implants. I don't want
chest
ab implants. I'd like to have breast implants.
Hey,
I mean pecs. I mean pecs.
early in the show, I don't
Is
think
there anybody
Fill
doing
up-
that?
fill up-
Sales, can you get a hold of
I
Yeah.
got a bird chest.
Yeah.
A chest like a baby bird.
Let's do it.
It's tough to fill out a shirt. It's
What,
tough
now,
to
so,
flat
Justin,
chest.
what is a bird chest? What is a baby bird
Well,
chest?
think about a bird.
I don't know. I just made it up. I don't know.
Yeah.
I've never had pecs.
Pecs.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, we
ever.
need the paddleboard pecs. is what we
I
want.
mean,
It's
20
genetics.
years ago, I had a 6-pack.
Yeah.
Right.
So I know how to achieve that. I'm
Yes.
just not.
Now I
willing
can do
to
a
put the
small load
work
of
in to
laundry.
Do it again.
Yeah, I can do a small load of laundry on my abs. Just a small.
Oh my gosh,
load.
I've got a part of our summer adventure. We work out and get adjusted some packs.
No,
Okay.
we get we get selective surgery.
Absolutely. Is there a
Together.
salesperson out there that can?
We
do that?
go in holding hands.
Yes.
And we count down from 10 together.
You might
And
have
we
to go
come
to,
out.
might have to go to Columbia for
We
that
start
surgery, but
yeah.
they can do it.
Yeah,
They can
my
do
chest will
anything.
start looking like a butt.
I'm getting lipo then there or whatever, or get some chopped off. That's what I got to
Technically,
do.
we all have abs.
Hey,
Yeah.
It's
take it
just
out of
covered with
Baz.
fat.
Take it out of Baz and put it in mine and Roger's chest.
Hey, yes,
That's a
please
good
do.
idea.
Hey, here's the thing, Josh. Thank you for this. Josh just cut up the part where Pat was talking about all of his buddies that he brought to the Jay Moore concert.
There was Anthony Stabile, Frankie Carbone, and then there was Mo Black's brother, Fat Andy,
Fat Andy.
and his guys, Frankie the Wop, Freddie No Nose, and then there was Pete the Killer, who was Sally Balls' brother,
It was so good.
and you had Nicky Eyes.
What's up, guy?
And Mikey Francesi,
Yeah, I want to see him.
and Jimmy Two Times, who got that nickname because he said everything twice, like,
gonna go get the papers. Get the papers.
Is that good, fellas?
Oh my gosh, so
good
good,
job.
so good. Let's take a break, Raj, and we'll get Chuck Gatlin to tell us what's happening at the bus. Oh, got to do Family Feud coming up too.
Was that Justin who just yelled?
Yeah, Justin is. He will at any time he will
He
yell.
just breaks into
Anytime he starts yelling.
Wow.
What you hear him say his name for Family Feud coming up next. All right, 8:45 here in Morning Mayhem. In addition to Pat Bradley, we also have Chuck.
Hey, say, Chuck.
How do you follow that?
I know.
Let's go to your intro.
addition
Let's
to
go to your
Pat
opening.
Brad.
A man of many.
No, that's not yours. What is it?
He's one of the.
Have an opening?
No, he didn't have
No,
one.
I don't have
We'll work on one for you.
Thank you.
Chuck, what are you promoting?
Oh, same old. Beer Fest, of course, on July 22nd. Those tickets are on sale. Presented by Oaklawn Racing Casino Resort, Tito's Handmade Vodka, and Mosquito Joe. July 27th, of course. Countdown to kickoff.
Yeah, that's
More news coming soon.
July
on that.
27th. Yeah. Gary Hill, MSS Oils, to sponsor our buddies now in the Softball Hall of Fame. He sponsored that. Gangster Museum of America, Corky's, and Tito's Handmade Vodka.
Yeah.
Tito's is everywhere, isn't it?
Tito's does not mess around. Let me tell you something. Gary Hill and MSS Oil. Justin has a fantastic, beautiful ball cap that you would love to wear, except for one problem. That it is the Ole Miss Rebel colors. That's the only issue. What do you do? Light blue and that red. It's just beautiful. It really
With the MSS, I guess it does.
Yeah.
It is.
So this week too, Wednesday we're going to be at Bradford Marine.
That's tomorrow.
In Sherwood. Right.
Torpedo Joe
Thursday,
and Friday back with your buddy Frank Fletcher.
And then we just go ahead and follow it up with Monday being at Kiko's Country RV.
Yeah,
we're on the road. We won't be back in studio till Wednesday. And Justin, when do you get back from your trip? When you go over Dewey? What do you go from Dewey to the casino you mentioned on a Saturday, and then you head back after that?
Yeah, it'll be a little while. I got to be on the road for like 7, 8, 9 days. I think I have 5 shows in like 6 days.
What about the
5
4th?
days or something like that?
What do you do for the 4th?
I'm off, but I have like the 4th and 5th off, and then I'm back the 6th or something like that. I've got a crazy month, and then we finally get our vacation like the end of this month.
I was going to say real quickly, we found out, I love finding out these kind of things. We mentioned that Don Grisham, who will be with you guys in Kinch band at Dewey Beach, but found out that, years ago that Don was the #1 flooring tile guy in America, right based out of Cabot. And, Pat, I'm playing with some guys, including Robert Raines and Bill Lawrence, a guy named Tony Orr, who's from the Arkadelphia area. He's in pharmaceutical sales.
Playing
golf at the
okay.
Arkansas Sports Hall of Fame yesterday.
You said playing with some guys.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, playing golf with some guys. But a guy named Chad Gentry, we found out that he's one of the top guys in America. At sending goldfish to all. Granddad has been growing.
Do you know how tough those things are to die?
Yeah.
Well,
Oaks Koi Boy.
Had a goldfish who ate all the other goldfish.
Oh, wow.
And then
goldfish predator.
He killed 2 sharks and a newt.
What was the goldfish
little tiny
name?
shark.
What was the goldfish name? Do you remember?
I didn't get a chance to.
He's the #1 goldfish guy, and he goes to all the Petcos all over America.
Every
right, the Lone Oak.
You're going to enjoy my fish more than anybody else. I'll send you a box.
And then apparently Anderson Minnow, the #1 minnow producer, not in the world.
Is that a minnow in your box? You're glad to see me.
Anyway, try to catch one with your hand.
Salute to all the top of the. You know what the difference maker is having FedEx. Because everybody close, they every day they're shipping out thousands and thousands and thousands of
I
goldfish.
would not be surprised if Sigma Supply is shipping out things too.
I would not.
They sent out the antivirus virus kit.
That was them?
Yeah.
Why is he going mobster for that?
Pretty good.
I don't know, because Pat's here. Because Pat.
Hey, this was a story I wanted to bring up. We'll talk about a little bit more in the 9 o'clock hour. Justin, did you hear what was thrown on stage during a Pink concert?
Uh-oh.
No.
So a bag with something in it, and she gets over there, and it was a woman's. It was a woman's mother. They want. She picked it up. But she then continued on with the song. So
that's weird.
I know. with those mothers.
I don't feel good about that. I don't feel good about people just throwing dead people, scattering them throughout the ocean. That's freaky. What if you're swimming and you get a mouthful of a dead?
You mean to
person?
tell me?
I think they dissolve.
I keep thinking. Have you seen White Lotus? I keep thinking the scene with White Lotus.
Oh, the Big Lebowski, right? Doesn't he take it in his face?
Oh,
in the wind.
There's a couple, but yeah, not the Big Lebowski. That's that movie we watched, Roger, where they throw it.
John Goodman gets it in the face.
No, it wasn't Goodman. The one I saw.
No, you're thinking of Galifianakis and the Robert Downey Jr. Doesn't he take his dad in that coffee can?
Isn't that called road trip?
Well, that's not the one I'm
And he
thinking of.
he brewed his father. He thought it was coffee.
No, he put it in a coffee can though.
Our Sandy is going to be featured tonight live on PBS. It's 100 nights of trivia.
That's a coin flip.
I give up.
It's a coin.
I give up. Thing.
Not much.
He did.
Thank you, Chuck.
Hey, I won't be here next week.
Open what?
I won't be here next week.
Thank God.
What is that?
He said.
9:06 Morning Mayhem. Morning Mayhem is fully assembled today. I'm David Basil. That's Roger Scott, Justin Moore out there on Moore Mountain. Josh Neighbors producing. Special guest this week for a couple days, maybe Pat Brown. Great to have you, Pat. Today, tonight we have Roger doing his 100th game of trivia at Boudreaux's, big celebration. And because of that, I cannot be at a place I wanted to be tonight to support our buddy Kane and Sandy. But we've got Ed Leon from Arkansas PBS to tell everybody what's happening. Good morning, Ed. How are you? Chief Operating Officer and Deputy Director of Arkansas PBS. And so tell us what's happening tonight with our good buddy Kane and Sandy, Ed.
Listen, we've got a little bit of an on-air party going on tonight. And it's a new series that introduces people to, the kids. There's no bigger one. Kane and Sandy. Who's she's doing for all the kids in Arkansas, where she's giving away books through her imagination life. New series that we're debuting in the fall, sneak peeks, local programming. And we have to interview after the show, and they're going to be on for us, where we kind of ask people to, kind of help support the programming that we do.
Buddy Chris Kane is going to be with you guys tonight, and so Chris is always great. He loves Kane, and how will air tonight.
Yeah, basically about you said, kind of set up the scene, and the piece is like through.
Okay.
About all that Kane and Ginger do for the state, and it's like, and the Razorback.
Yeah.
ESPN Hall of Fame, and it's a time to catch up with him, and 15 other people, including Chris, and you were going to be there. So sorry we can't see you, but it's going to be a fun time tonight. With these kids who talk to the space station in from programs.
I think you got for some of that Kane and Sandy piece, if I'm not mistaken. I may.
Yeah. You guys want girls volleyball, and Dave, you host the play-by-play for us. So you guys, your support has been fabulous throughout all this. So, and I was on the Rainwater. We're doing it's like we're going on.
Wow.
Of being
going on 5.
Hey, double.
Just and wanted to reiterate, going on 5 years.
Myself, Roger Scott, and Justin Moore.
Yeah.
Future.
It's called Storytellers.
Yes.
And it's going to be on. Featured in some.
and honor. Guys,
Hope he doesn't have a belt. Stands
3-part series, and it begins on July 18th. So
Of
yeah.
Day 4 p.m. to 7 on one. The Time Sports.
tune in and catch some great Arkansas local stories.
Big thing.
Thanks for calling. Now, boy.
And then
Baz, you actually win.
Josh for
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Hey, Justin.
Hey, Graham.
She's she's very in town. Yes.
Let's give away a pair of those tickets, a pair of those
Wanna do
concerts.
a pair of Chris
We'll do
Jansen
Chris Haynes tickets.
Chris Jansen?
Jansen
Chris
tickets.
Jansen.
Yeah, Chris Jansen, not Chris Hansen. That's a whole different
Yes,
show.
yes. Chris Jansen playing this.
661-1037. 661-1037. That's the phone number if you want to play the feud.
As we get ready. Today.
Show me a pic. Let's you know what? Let's just introduce the game first.
It's time for everyone's favorite game, Family Feud. Sponsored by Southern Bank. Visit bankwithsouthern.com for more information about your lending needs. Now, let's play the feud.
Hello there, Ronnie. Do you want to play a Family Feud for a chance at these Chris Jansen tickets?
Yes, I do.
All right, my friend, here's what we're going to do. Now, the only time you're going to need to use your buzzer is on this very first question. Ronnie, your name is your buzzer. Let me show you how it works. Justin, may I hear your buzzer?
Justin!
Bingo. If you can reach that level or close to it, let me hear your buzzer, Ronnie. Okay, no buzzer. You went too many syllables.
Let's see if
Graham. Graham.
There you go.
Okay.
It's like a little terrier. Chihuahua. Let me hear it again.
Graham.
Statement is your buzzer. Let me hear your buzzer. All right, here we go. Now the teams are Basil, Josh, and Pistol Pack and Pat Bradley.
That's right.
And we've got.
Wait, I thought I'm on Baz's team.
You are. I just said that.
That's what you just said.
I said Pistol Pack and Bet Bradley.
He
My bad.
Your
Wow,
name.
he's a comedian.
Listen, you want these?
Ronnie.
Okay. Let's drinking when you to play. All right. Here's the deal.
Okay.
As I was hiding out in the unisex bathroom at Boudreaux's last week, I asked 100 people this question. Be the
Does
first.
that mean one sex? Or
100.
all?
It was the unisex. Everybody came in there, and I was hiding behind the baby changing station.
Just looking for a
and
definition
I
of
asked them
unit.
this question.
Yes.
You be the first one to buzz in on this question. Give me a 3-letter word that starts with the letter Z. Zoo, number one. To choose.
A teammate that wants to play.
You wish for Patty. Like,
He hates playing.
You and
Switching the teams. You either. Then play.
Am I out of my mind or he play?
Right.
To not play.
I'm. What do we do? Pass.
the theory.
I'm not hosting this bastardized version of on your team.
He's trying to give
Yeah.
Pat a
Yeah.
chance to play.
That's right.
Pat wants to
Yeah,
play.
that's right.
That's
No part of this, do we?
Yeah.
oh my. Look, after last week's performance of give us an F.
Right.
Then you're without him because he just gave you
No,
away.
What a
We can play another one after.
no.
So you have a say in this, but you and your team. Here's the question. Give me a 3-letter word that starts with the letter Z. Zoo has been chosen, and 40 of the respondents have said such. Zoo.
I know what it is.
All right, sir.
Easy.
Spell that.
Z
No, I had.
Yes.
Can I say it?
Sure.
Well, no, but maybe.
Okay.
No, I didn't.
Guys, number 2, number 3, and number 4 is still on the list.
Wait,
it's my turn.
No, it's still his turn.
I
No,
thought it has to be passed. No.
Leader, so he can take it past or
Sorry.
play. Yeah.
I'm
That was the second one. I had.
Z-E-N-Z.
Yeah.
Because I love that part.
That was the first one I thought of.
Very good.
Zen.
2
He's very
answers
zen.
remaining. Number 2 and number 3. You've already given me zoo, zen, and zit.
Oh,
Yeah, no, it's still. So, explain the rules. It's our turn. 3 strikes.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
So
Okay, all right.
we got to get them all.
All
So,
right.
what did you say?
No, I didn't think of zit. I actually
didn't
don't
either.
know if my words are words, but I think they are.
Hey guys, do it, man. You're my family, man. Tell me how to do it.
Hey, you did.
I'm not. I'm thinking.
Y'all
Did I just blurt
What
out?
partner's name on the phone? Honey, what about Zip, Zap?
Yeah.
Say what now?
Zipper Zap.
Well, you got to get.
Yeah, I
Okay,
think
Zap.
zip.
Fine.
Zip.
I was gonna say
I
like
still wanna
zip it up, zip
Zap.
up your jacket.
Okay. Get. Sweep and tickets to see Chris Jansen. Yeah. No. One change. You get strikes available to you. Give me a. Yes, hell yeah.
Are you ready?
Yes.
I didn't even hear it. Yeah.
He said.
Zip.
Zip cord or zip code.
Yeah. He swept the board.
Only
4 of the 5.
Awesome. John. I think you said
Zoo,
zip and
zap,
zap in
zip,
conversation.
zap, zip.
Yeah.
so,
Favorites, of course,
Louisiana.
is Pierce. When I said one of it was, where would you?
Good morning, gentlemen.
Where would you pick? It's one of the top 5 places you might pick.
Oh, that's
For
right.
a one-night stand. He said convenience store parking lot. Great game. Yeah.
Discuss sports on this
That is so good.
Come on.
Frenchie rejoiner.
Well, I have, my grandmother was born in France.
Yeah.
Okay.
And right outside of Paris in Carency. And my grandfather went over there in WW2. Knocked back a bunch of Germans.
Sure he did.
And then brought home
That's
a French bride.
That's exactly right. Isn't that where the term where Larry Bird's
bride.
born from?
That's exactly
French
right.
lick? Is that what?
That's he invented that.
Hey, listen, Williams Jr.
I don't know if
You-
we
you-
have love.
I always
How do I look on the website?
you go.
Saying, how do I look?
Oh, how do you look? You look great.
No, but I do like the fact that one dude pointed out, or lady, that you were Bully Baz, who told me the minute we got it, before I even put one foot on a plane step, goes, "Hey, why don't you sit up with the pilot? I got a lot of work to do." Assuming that I'm just going to be talking his ears off. No. His son, who just
Somebody didn't have to.
That's right.
Yep.
Feet left. Okay.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
But his
Pilot? Oh yeah. Well, yeah.
That's baseball.
Not far from winning the national championship.
That's baseball.
If you get in as a host, you're not that far off.
Right.
I mean, so I don't agree with that.
Maybe they didn't perform. I agree with Justin.
But you're a
I mean,
player or two away.
Yeah,
There.
exactly.
I mean,
And they've been a player two away for what, 7 years, 6 years at least.
They're in the mix.
You know, I mean, there was guys transferring 35 years ago as well.
and then they were
Certainly.
sitting out a year.
Yeah.
Getting paid to transfer.
Yeah, it just you
Fouché and Greg Brooks.
Yeah.
To me, loyalty is a great quality, and some people value it and some people don't, and LSU doesn't. Okay, that's fine.
We're talking in general terms. The LSU staff that's here today wasn't at LSU when those kids were coming out of high school. So I'm just saying, so maybe I wasn't here to recruit you, or I would have to LSU. That's a recruiting pitch. You guys, I over the weekend when I was back in Boston, you guys remember Kari Johnson? He was a defensive back from Boston who just transferred to Boston College. And he played his freshman, sophomore year. So I was talking to him, and I said, "Why'd you leave, man? Why'd you leave?" I was at a football clinic at BC, and he got playing time. He just didn't. The fit just wasn't right with the coaches for him. He just kind of explained like, I just couldn't get on the same page with them, what they were teaching, and I left. And he wasn't recruited by BC, but he sort of, in a sense, I don't know why anybody wants to play football for Boston College in the first place.
Yeah,
because they're brutal.
Right.
But he's from that area. So all I'm saying with these DBs that did transfer, there may be something more in the locker room, the relationship that they felt went sour. I don't know. However, could that be possible?
Okay.
Or there might have been a check written.
Yeah.
I don't like it either way, though.
Yeah.
Whether they're coming in or leaving.
I agree.
I just don't like that.
I don't either.
To me, the charm of the college game is gone now.
Yeah.
The kid's got a chance to change him and his family's lives going from Air Force. Like I know going to Air Force is a big deal, but going to LSU to pitch means he's the number 1 pick now. That's a big reason.
But he would have been at Air Force too if he would have thrown the same stuff.
Right.
I mean, if you got the
They'll
same
find
stuff,
you,
yeah, they'll
now.
find you. It doesn't matter. Josh, it doesn't matter where you pitch. If you got the stuff, you got the stuff.
So, say, Roger, I don't want to get back into it to who told us. So we were down
school kids.
Just to interrupt for a second, I'm not talking about one sport. I'm talking about
All-
college athletics as a whole.
As a whole, all of them.
The charm of it.
Yeah.
And the
I'm with
reason
you.
why I always love college more than the pros, that's gone now.
Yeah, the amateurism. I'm with you.
It's gone.
That's why I can boo.
Right. And so we were here. Again.
Truck. Be what chip blue chips.
Yeah.
That's what the dude wanted. He wanted his Dead Avenue tractor.
Right. This info that I mentioned about the NIL conference.
All right. Well, let me. And here.
Okay.
So the best teams are going to be who raises the most money.
Well,
Well, that's what you just said.
Yeah.
But so, all right.
About the game now.
This year in basketball.
Here's why I don't believe those numbers. So the NIL Summit, okay?
Yeah.
It's basically a collection of folks that are responsible for putting together student athletes to come in to have a summit to talk about it, and they have information. How much are this is Jason Belter, who is he's the founder of Athlete NIL. He's an attorney representing coaches. He's a professor at Rutgers Law. And this is what he put out. At today's NIL Summit, we released the first ever look into how much football and basketball student athletes are making based on data from over 30 collectives and more than 1,000 student athletes we've contracted with. So right there,
They can control the narrative.
Well, no, but here's the thing, fellas. Here's the thing, though.
They can put out whatever they want.
But Justin, it benefits a school for the rumor to go out there that they're paying $1 million. So now all the players like, huh? But when they get there,
I understand.
There's maybe 6 or 7 college football quarterbacks.
Yeah.
Five, okay? A starter, the top half of starters in a football is 45,000.
Yeah, that's
the let's say the of the top. So the starters, wide receivers,
That's right.
running back if he's a stud, all that. A 2 deep guy is 25. This is Power 5. The bench 15,000. So
here's what's lost in all this to me is getting a free college degree, or not free because you earn it.
Right.
So that's unfair for me to say free, but in
That's your
effect,
point.
it is. It means absolutely
no, it
nothing.
doesn't. But listen, top 10. So the top 10 football players in the country, on average, are 500.
Okay.
You get a couple hundred. Whereas basketball, it gets a little more interesting
more
because
than
it's
that.
less numbers.
Yeah, if you're fewer players
So
to
Power
pay.
5, if you're a top 3 player in a Power 5 league, you're looking at 75. If you're a starter, but not a highlight, 50. If you're an overall in a top 5 bench player, you're basically guaranteed 15.
What's a star get paid for? Like you're the starter, you're a star at a Power 5.
So men's basketball compensation, if you're a top 10 player in the country, it's half a mil.
Yeah, can you
And how many? That's 10 players in the country.
If you
But there's always going to be another booster. 25-year-old right now who is in love with Razorback. Next 10 years, he's going to make, start his business, and he's going to be a multimillionaire. He's going to step in to take over of the guy.
Because you keep giving all this money, pretty soon they're going to get wise and go, you know what?
Yeah.
I want a
But
few
there's always
things
the next
done.
one.
And the guys and gals who love pro sports, they just got another pro. They got another pro league. Good. I liked amateur college.
Yeah, I did
sports.
too.
I
The
didn't.
charm of it.
Yeah.
But,
Wait,
but it's got.
I didn't. Process.
$1 million, it is tough.
The whole idea that I was for name, image, and likeness was for reasons that a player in the summertime.
Yeah.
Clinic. Into let's just give him the money.
Yeah.
For a no-show
that's right.
job.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
The underwater basket weaving thing. That's how much he makes.
Come on, Justin, aren't you paying it?
I'm in.
I'm in. And it I said, hey,
Douche.
So good. So good. So
Wow,
good.
it's
So
good.
good.
I would
so
not.
good.
Yeah. Oh, it's so. Hoo-ah.
BJ.
Yeah. Listen.
For the IRS.
Wow. On Fox.
Love this song.
Wall Street.
More middle finger.
It was so fun.
Right.
So we're drunk.
Yeah.
So we got so Roger's flipping people off
I'm
in the
flipping
car.
everybody off. My head's out the car like a chihuahua. I'm just.
He's coming to Mike Arena. Did I? Okay, I may be
A
wrong.
rock band.
Okay,
maybe in the last year or something.
He's a
He is,
Nickelback.
he is now, yeah.
Okay, I'm
They're coming. They're coming. I don't think Nickelback's come yet.
Okay, maybe he is coming then.
Yeah,
Okay. He's Have you seen those?
No, I haven't.
Seen a
No.
promo for it.
Have you seen it, Raj?
Seen a promo for it.
Yeah. Well, the other thing we have to do, Roger and I, we have to watch the Yogi Berra documentary. That's
We
it.
will be
Pat,
doing
about
that.
Yeah, we got to get that
Yeah,
done.
we'll be doing it. Listen, if we have to go up to Cooperstown and then watch it, on Saturday.
On Saturday,
That
after
would be
yeah,
awesome.
Yeah, go to Cooperstown and then check out the Hall of Fame. I've never been there. I've been obviously to Canton, but not been to
I've
Cooperstown.
been to Canton, but I've never been to Cooperstown.
We got
Canton.
we will be at Bradford Marine, one of your
Tomorrow.
sponsors.
Now, listen, there's a lot of Bradford Marine locations. Can you name a couple of them?
We're in Sherwood.
Hot Springs,
Hot Springs.
Sherwood's one of the best ones.
And we will be in Sherwood.
That's why
where
I
we
know
will
you
be.
said that.
Baz comes very close to going Pierre Paul with fireworks and blowing off his own fingers on that one. That's on Thursday.
The fireworks.
Listen, he's taller than any sparkler goes.
Then Friday we'll be at Frank Fletcher's place.
Hadn't seen him in like a month.
I know. We see Justin perform at Dewey Beach. All the cast of characters will be up there.
And don't worry, I won't talk to you.
And then next week,
I think it's the Morgan Mall. Is it the Morgan exit? I think it's
Morgan Mall.
Morgan Mall.
Next week.
I love
coming
it.
back.
Outstanding.
Bradford Marine, Springdale, Rogers, Little Rock, North Little Rock, Hot Springs, Texarkana, Arkansas.
And a boy.
Texas.
Lauren was talking about. I saw some more messages about.
Yep.
You know, but my deal is this though. I see this the league.
Nobody.
Interested. Outside of sports.
Let me ask you a question, ladies. Here's this. It's rumored, yes, rumored that KJ Jefferson is making $500,000. Yes?
Yeah.
All right, that's the rumor.
It gotta be.
I'm only using that just for this point, just to make this court. So let's just say he is making that $500,000. Is he making $500,000? Is he making more than a few people that are on NFL rosters?
No, I think the minimum.
What is the
contract,
minimum?
Well, you know,
More than some of his, probably not his, but some coaches probably.
let me tell you what I'd be doing if
Okay.
I was his offensive line. Shake down. Hey,
And I know somebody can get this done, whether it's you two, Justin, or somebody around here. I would love to see how it's structured, the payments.
you know what?
I think
And what you have to do.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
As long as this
Oh,
stuff
we
is by the
What?
collectors.
I'm friends with some fathers